Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for steady. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Saying back on the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Mission new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Yeah, feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss. Hope everybody is having a good start to their weekend on this Friday night. Hope everybody is staying safe, staying warm. It is currently below zero. It is -1 degrees here in Michigan, man. So it is the dog days of winter here in Michigan. Boss, how you feeling?
Oh, man. Well, Deuce and I just did our first ever live commentary, which was fun. I wish we pulled out a win. It would be even more fun, but it was a cool experience. So I'm feeling a little bit and then we took a little break to transfer it over and got my thoughts together more. And disappointing loss, but a lot of factors. I think we're gonna have a poll about that as well. But I think positively, you gotta get some optimism from me, guys. We only lost by 7 in that terrible way we played for 3 quarters. So I'll take that. I'll take that. That's how I.
We do want to shout everybody out though, for sure. It was our first one. We had a lot of fun with you guys. A lot of great commentary from you guys. It was cool to watch and react to it. Even though it was L, it was still a lot of fun. But here's the thing: we're planning to potentially live stream and have live reactions to the rest of the national games for the rest of the season that the Pistons have. So if you guys want those to continue going forward, we need to get 200 likes on this video. We got to make sure we're getting enough support.
Yes.
We don't mind doing it. We love doing it. But as you guys know, it's a lot of work, a lot of time that goes into it. So 200 likes, get those likes up, guys, and we'll run it back for you guys. So that's that. Boss, we talked about it already, but for anybody who missed this game, the Pistons were back in action tonight against the Rockets, obviously in their second and final matchup of the year. And they fell short, losing 104-111 to drop to 32-11 now on the regular season, which snaps their 4-game winning streak. So, and if you guys are just joining us, we welcome you guys here. Looking forward to getting into this game. As far as the injury report, Cade Cunningham, he missed last game. He returned to action tonight. And Karis LeVert also missed tonight's game. Second straight game he's missed tonight with the lingering illness. So the Pistons starting lineup looked like Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and JD. So Boss hit on a few things as far as this game. We are going to get into some more things. We see you guys in the chat as well. And of course, Boss, you know who's already here. Showing support. Our guy, Damadavi.
Always.
Like clockwork.
Love it.
Popping up says, I get it, you guys. I get it, guys need rest, but it would have been more justifiable to put Reed and Sass in because Duncan and Tobias didn't deserve to look at the court in the fourth. Vets have been good lately, but tonight it wasn't. Game to game, JB, situational. I think you made some good points. Me and Boss were kind of asking, like, well, who, like these guys are rolling. Like, they got to sit down at some point. Like, maybe we can, what do we do? Now, with some of the things we were saying, Dominic is just like, let's get some guys who can give us a spark, right? Because the offense was kind of sputtering at time. We'll get to that later. But we both agree that a guy like, B-Ball Paul, who can come in at any point in the game and be impactful. It doesn't matter if it's 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He's shown that whenever he comes to the game, he's a positive. And then Sass as well. The spark he could provide as well could have been helpful. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, Sass, because we talked about it, and, we were kind of talking about, like, at this point, is it worth it? But for B-Ball Paul in the fourth, especially, I think one of the reasons was second chances for the Rockets. I think B-Ball is really good at just bringing down a ball and holding on to it or preventing that. Yeah. That just could have been a spark as well. He can also shoot threes. Obviously, Sass can too, but I was just kind of thinking more of how big the Rockets are and how we also needed to have rim protection really on that side or good defense. So I would like to see that too, Dom. So you're right. The rotations for me frustrated me at times because you can talk about that, and you can also talk about Ivey, who, again, for his fourth game in a row, he started slow, but then was hot, and then we took him out when he was hot, and then we kept him out. I don't get it. But so some rotation stuff. So that's my whole thing is game by game. We talked about situational before, and I just wish JB would utilize that a little bit more. So, he goes up and down too. I'm not going to, obviously we love JB as our coach, but there's been a couple games where it's just like, it doesn't make sense. And this one, it just got away from us. And I think it had to do a little bit with one of the reasons was some of the lineup choices towards the end, I believe.
So Dominic, as always, appreciate you, bro. Definitely agree with those rotations, especially with guys who we felt could have been better suited, who also had a rolling in this game, didn't play as much as we would have liked. So yeah, I think you're dead on again, bro. Definitely think there could have been some things to clean up going forward that they can learn from. But, it's an L. They're going to take their lumps. We won 4 straight, so it's not like the sky's falling. We're still still in first place by at least 5 games, I think, as of right now. So, but definitely I agree with those points, bro. And I appreciate your support as always, man. As always.
Thank you.
Chat, we are going to throw up the poll for tonight. Obviously, it's not going to be who got the belt.
Yeah.
But this one's going to be what you guys thought was the biggest reason for this L. So we just threw that up, and you guys can have at that. And we will check back on that, boss, in a few minutes once we start getting to some box scores. Yeah. Before we do that, though, let's get to your initial thoughts for tonight's game, boss. What did you see watching this live? We talked about it in our live reaction, but for those who missed it, and for those who saw, you can reiterate and let us know what you saw in this game.
Yeah, look, for me, the keys to the game were coming in and obviously playing our defense, but making sure that our offensive possessions weren't empty. And both teams struggled with shooting and offense in the first half. And then the Houston Rockets got hot. So we could have utilized some of that if we, made our free throws, made some of our shots. I thought we did. We made a lot of I don't think we were just throwing up threes for no reason. I thought we did a good balance about making our shots in the paint. One of my biggest things is trying to match teams by shooting perimeter shots that we don't need to. And I don't think we necessarily did that, but obviously getting those shots down on the perimeter when we had them would have been nice. And then they did eventually, make the paint a little bit more difficult for us. So just kind of a bad shooting night all around for everybody. Nobody really was sinking them, except I would say Jenkins and Ivey, a little bit more the most reliable shooters, I would say.
I would agree with that.
But I knew it was going to be a tough matchup. It's a big team. They did play last night. They lost in overtime. The Rockets, they did play last night. They lost in overtime. We've seen, the video of Kevin Durant slamming the basketball. They're getting frustrated. They're losing games that they shouldn't with their talent. They're relying way too much, which they did again tonight, on their star guy, Kevin Durant. Cade is our star, but Kevin Durant's got 10 years on him. It's a lot. And so I expected them to come out strong and wanting to win this. They needed to win this. I think they felt like they needed to win it. A little bit more like we obviously want to win every game, but I was expecting that from them, and they just really just pulled it out. So a tough game. I didn't know which way it was going to go. But like I said, the way that we didn't let it get, it could have been much worse. And that's the blessing of the day.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was, this was not a pretty game, by either team. This is, from a competitive standpoint, it was very competitive, right? Both teams were playing extremely hard. There wasn't a ton of execution early, especially for either team. Neither team was really able to really impose their will early in this game. It kind of happened later in the second half. But I thought it was a very much a back and forth game between two good teams. Two good teams who are athletic, who play good defense, who like to turn you over, get out in transition. Kevin Durant had 2 early fouls in this game. Yeah. I think in the first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was hoping the Pistons would take advantage of him being out, right? And unfortunately, the Rockets held the lead. We were able to cut into their lead because they had a lead, but we weren't able to really separate ourselves. And I think that was something that really hurt us. It was just not taking advantage of that. They had 11 bench points in the first quarter. They had a lot of we had 2. So that's not even a narrative or a microcosm of how we like to play. More times than not, we are the better team coming off the bench. And I felt like we were, for most of this game. It was just we didn't get off to a great start. But as you mentioned, the bench mob, they came in and they made a huge difference. Yep. All night.
As they do.
Just getting stops, getting out in transition. It's been a strength for us, but we couldn't knock down threes, boss. We could not knock down threes. As a team, we shot 22% from 3. Right? They shot 35%. We shot 48% overall. But it was just the 3-point shooting that really, it really kind of just did us in. And our turnovers and then our missed free throws in the first half really hurt us as well, for sure. Yep. Just go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen a lot of you guys just chime in with your poll thoughts. I've seen a lot of rotations, the offensive rebounds, rotations, refs. It kind of the calls that they chose were interesting, but I don't think that they were overtly bad. I think they let them play to an extent. So you guys are all of the above starters. I agree. And I agree with everything you say too. I think, the reason that both teams are kind of struggling in offense too in the first half was because both are good teams. Like we said, this was a game because both teams, matched up well and I said to you earlier in the live too, like if I was a Rockets fan, I would not be pleased with this win at all. Just like we have said, like when you win the ugly games, it's still a win. This was an ugly win for the Rockets, in my opinion. As well. So that's just, kind of where it's at. And I do think, we can't win them all. And, this wasn't not like we lost to a team, we lost to the Rockets, who have incredible players. I mean, I think 3 of their starters are all-star level. And I would throw Jabari Smith Jr. in there as just a great player as well.
Good player. Yeah. Yeah, the second half was kind of really when things started to take a turn, where we really started to lose control a little bit of this game. It was kind of fighting uphill. The third quarter was one to forget. The starting group, and this is kind of where we get to the rotation piece. It was the starting group played the first 7 minutes, all 5.
Yeah, crazy. That was wild.
And I just feel like the guys we have in the starting lineup right now, a couple of those guys just don't match up well with the Rockets' speed and quickness in their length. Height. They have a lot in their height. They're really long. They're really tallest team in the league. They're disruptive, right? A lot of opportunities, a lot of possessions on offense, the Pistons executed well. And on most teams, it will be a bucket, but the last pass to get the open shot will be deflected. The dunk at the rim will be blocked. Like, they're just a really good defensive team. Like 95% of the teams we play against, we execute like that. We score. But the Rockets, I got to give them credit. They're a good defensive team, man. So I just felt like the starters ran too long.
Yeah.
All 5 of them for 7 straight minutes. Exactly. And you're getting good play from your bench when the bench is the reason why you're in the game in the first half. Exactly. It was perplexing to me that all 5 starters played the first 7 minutes of the game or of the half. And that was once again when they started to separate, right? It was just some of the another thing too, like JD kept getting switched on KD.
Yeah.
And there wasn't much of an adjustment made. You can't have JD on the island with KD because he hit back-to-back threes. Wasn't bad defense from JD either. Both times he did the very best he could. Contested, got a hand up, put his hand right between KD's arms, right? But didn't foul. Like just good. But that's KD. It's the best scorer to ever play the game. You can't have JD out there on the island, right? So that hurt. The Pistons gave up 34 points in that third quarter, and they only scored 20, right? Just like the first quarter, only scored 20 points. So they just kind of took too long to get back to what worked in that first half. And I think the starters playing 7 straight minutes as a unit against a team they don't match up with that starting unit, it was inevitable.
Exactly.
And I was just a little bit confused as to why they all went that long, boss.
Yep, same. And we talked about it too, because that's when I thought that, Ivy would come in again, Jenkins, and he, did eventually come in to close out that game. But I mean, 7 minutes straight, especially when it's not going well,
Yeah.
I don't know what he really was waiting for there. But I do want to say I did like the way we started the fourth after, the Rockets were smiling, they were bumping chests, they were happy, and we looked really down. We looked really low energy. So I'm just glad that we started the fourth off really strong. Again, we didn't hold on to it. We started an 11-1 run, but that to me just shows like we do, try to bounce back and everything. And just before, we'll get into it more when we get to his box score, but I just want to say that, Cade has been dealing with his wrist and his hip, but he's also dealing with an illness. And yeah, Ron's dealing with an illness too, but I don't know who has what and worse. And we have to remember these teams, Adam Silver he finds them on national games if you don't play your stars for a good reason. So maybe Cade was just under the weather enough to where they were just like, you still have to play, dude. And we've seen that he's been a little bit of things. So something's a little bit off there. Again, I'm not making excuses, not saying it's all Cade's. There are a lot of things. But someone mentioned it earlier. We did go toe to toe with a very good team, and we made it hard on them, and they made it hard on us. And not an ugly game, but not an ugly loss in terms of we didn't get blown out. We stayed in it when they went on little runs. We just couldn't get over the hump after we got the lead. So
you mentioned it too, the fourth quarter. Much like the second quarter, when we were down, the bench got us back into the game. Like once the starters all sat down at the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter, our bench, man, I think they went with the Pistons went with the lineup with Cade, Javonte, Daniss, Ron, and Stu, and J.I. was in there for a few minutes as well. That unit gave us a spark, man. They came in, they got stops, they got us out and running, which is what we want to do. But once again, boss, when the starters came back in the fourth quarter, the same matchup problems still presented themselves. Right, that's not going to change. So that was what was tough. It was tough, man. We weren't able to generate offense. Yeah, and because they're tough to score against in the half court. When they can set their defense, they're tough. Because they're so long. And I think just having that bench mob in there who can create turnovers and get out, not allow them to get set, that's when we have the best chance of winning. I would have loved to see those guys get out and play a little bit more. So that was one of the biggest things for me.
I just want to get to this real quick because commenting and we didn't get it up here. You guys never read my takes. Sorry about that. We're trying to keep up with everyone. JB was terrible at adjustments. Yeah, they were trapping Cade, so the adjustment should have been to take Cade off the ball so we can focus on scoring, need to make the trade. Yeah, we agreed in the live as well. In terms of, I think, I don't think we need to trade. There's a couple guys, we've talked about it. We won't get into that now, but we talked about just bringing Jenkins in, which they eventually did, but a little too late. Jenkins became the main ball handler to help out with Cade. So we saw those things too. I think, obviously we do need a more reliable scorer on offense. I think that we have those scorers. Again, tonight we definitely had them in Jenkins and Ivy, and Jenkins came in a little too late, and Ivy didn't come in again really at all. So I don't really understand that. But Cade was off with his shooting as well. He was only held to 12 points, so we need a shooter overall. I do agree that there needs to be something, but I don't think it needs to be anything massive. We've talked about it. Go back to our last show. The last 10 minutes was a rant about it, but we see what you see, guys. But this is, only our 11th loss of the season, and it wasn't just it was a lot of our shooting tonight, but it was kind of all around. Even our big guys. Duncan's been on a streak. This was his first off game in a while. Cade was getting shots. Unk has been reliable, and he wasn't able to. No one was shooting well tonight.
Perfect storm.
But I agree. But I do agree with you.
Dwayne says, apparently, boss, we don't read his comments, so I'm gonna throw them up here.
I know, but
we're not skipping anybody on purpose, man. It's just we're trying to get.
Dude, I just read this out loud. This is the exact comment I was commenting on.
Okay, all right. So we got you, Dwayne. We're gonna get to the individual box scores as well. We're gonna do the best we can, like we said. We're gonna get to as many comments as we can. If we miss you, repost a comment, put it in caps, super chat, whatever y'all gotta do to get our attention. We're gonna do the best we can. But boss, I want to get to what Doug said here. Doug says, guys, why not give Chaz a chance? Plays D and sweet shot. I mean, on a night when you're looking for a spark, you guys mentioned B-ball Paul, mentioned Sass. Maybe not. Why not Chaz?
Exactly.
Right? Just give him a chance and see what he can do. We know he's a rookie. He hasn't played many NBA minutes, but when he has played, he's played well. He's been solid. Yeah. Right? So I'm not mad at you there, Doug. Just have maybe not him, maybe just anybody who didn't play like a B-ball Paul or Marcus Sasser just to see when you're stuck in the mud. So I'm not mad at you there, Doug, for sure.
Just Dwayne too. Thank you, boss. Today was my birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All right.
Yeah.
I just believe if JB is still monitoring Ivy's time, we need to trade JV and LeVert. JV. Javonte Green? No.
No, or maybe
we can't trade Javonte, bro.
Not either. But LeVert, yeah. I mean, I've always been supportive of LeVert, but if we do make a move and we have to package someone, it's kind of who I would lean towards. But yeah, we agree with you. It's clear that there needs to be something done, and but I don't think it needs to be let's sell everybody right now. Because obviously you guys know what our team. We know what Duncan can do. You know what Tobias can do. You know what Jenkins can do. You know what Stu can do. No one was really scoring tonight, and that's because of the Rockets, and vice versa. KD was their only scorer, like they had, I think, one other guy get up there eventually, but KD, like, we were able to shut down everyone else's opportunities too.
Right.
But someone asked earlier too, they're like, you saw them doubling Cade and we didn't even double KD. It goes into the shooting thing. They didn't really have when Jenkins was on the floor with Cade, it opened up a little bit for him because Jenkins was a little bit of a threat. It's hard to double KD when you also have Şengün and Amen and Jabari Smith, and even Okogie is doing great from threes in his minutes. So yes, that the reason we weren't able to double is because there were too many other threats, and they were able to double us because nobody else was really hitting it, which we've seen before. So
yeah, exactly. By the way, if you guys hear any crying, that's my son in the background cutting up. Wifey just got home with the boys, so just giving y'all a heads up. It may be
I don't hear anything
colorful.
yet, but
I'm surprised because
found out about
got some pipes. You boys are loud. But yeah, that's pretty much all I saw, boss, as far as my initial thoughts. We're gonna get into the box scores for sure and dig a little bit deeper. But before we do, let's get to this poll and see what you guys thought about the reason for this loss. So once again, the question for the poll: biggest reason for the loss. 34% boss says slow start, empty possessions. 32% says the rotations. 24% says the turnovers, and 10% says the second chance opportunities. So pretty spread out there. So once again, and there were some, it wasn't just one thing in this game. And you guys, results there are kind of indicative of that. It was a few things, a lot of things that kind of went wrong, that kind of threw things off the rails. But once again, 7-point loss, despite all that, is the silver lining you can have to a game when you lose, when you don't play well. So these guys, the fight wasn't lacking. It wasn't like we don't have conversations anymore about our team as far as effort.
Yeah.
That's a very encouraging thing. We're always giving the effort. Now it's just more so execution and rotations and just making the right adjustments at the right time. So that is what I'm taking away as a positive. There are some negatives we're going to get to soon, but that's what I'm looking at as far as the positive. So boss, let's go ahead and get into some individual box scores. And let's start with Cade Cunningham. Tonight, guys, Cade Cunningham played 37 minutes and he finished with 12 points on 5 for 13 shooting overall, 0 of 4 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 8 assists, 6 turnovers, 2 steals, and 1 block, once again, boss, in 37 minutes. So kind of a rough night for Cade. So go ahead and take off on what you saw from Deuce tonight.
Yeah, I would say kind of his worst game thus far that I can remember recently. Because even when he wasn't shooting well the other night, he finished with 15 assists. And tonight, 12 points, 8 assists. Like that's good for a number 3, a number 4. Not usually what we see from Cade, and especially in 38 minutes when nobody else played over 27. So he played 10 minutes more than anyone else on the team.
Yep.
And I do think there were times where, I would have rather have seen Ivey in and had Cade still resting on the bench, things like that. That's my rotation aspect of it. Obviously he's our star, but again, it's also national TV. So that's who, Adam Silver wants to see. But not the best. And I just truly believe that ever since he hurt his wrist, he's just been a little bit off. And then he hurt his hip, and now he has also an illness. I think he's just pushing through because he wants to. But I do think I wouldn't be mad if he sat out for Sunday's game against the Kings.
Right.
Not that I, want to risk a 2 loss in a row, but I think just clearly needs something, some kind of break. And I know
he looks off. Yeah, he doesn't look. He doesn't look like he's. Yeah, he did. Okay. Now it's
illness. And Ron had the illness, so something might be going around. And you guys
still has it,
but you don't know what kind. It could be affecting his breathing. It could be affecting something. And just the fact that he was still able to play 38 minutes for us is great. But it was just not his night. And definitely with this, I have 6 turnovers. Yeah, 6 turnovers on 8 assists. They really just were able to get the ball away from him at times. And
he played the whole first quarter.
And I know. And the one rebound too bothers me because I know he went up for some and just wasn't hanging on. Yeah, I'm not going to make excuses for Cade, but this just wasn't a Cade game necessarily, because usually when he lacks in one area, he completely makes up for it in another. And he just seemed a little lost. People are saying lazy and stuff, but I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't think it's Cade's like the last lazy. I would never call Cade Cunningham lazy.
He's not a lazy player.
So that's why something's bad.
Go ahead.
Something's a little bit slow, and it might just be his illness, the way he's feeling. But I don't think he checked himself out. He's not that kind of player. He came in and started the fourth strong. He's like, I really just got to push through. So I just think it was an off night from him.
Yeah, like one thing we've raved about Cade this season is his defense. His defensive energy, like aside from the offense, aside from having 12 points, not shooting great, not being able to knock it down from 3 for 4. It's even defensively, he just looked gassed.
Yes.
Like I saw in one play, Reed Shepherd just go right by him.
Yeah. And that's not
that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen.
And earlier on, he had someone, just with foul trouble. He got into a little bit of foul trouble, so he wasn't defending as closely. But like when it's the end of the fourth quarter, last 3 minutes, like who cares if you have 3 fouls? Who cares if you have 4 fouls? Like go defend that. And he just wasn't completely in it. So that's how I feel. That but continue. Sorry, I wanted to, because that just reminded me of another time where he let that happen, but that was due to foul trouble. This time it was kind of like how.
And this is what I'm saying, Organic. Like he was bad defensively. It hasn't been many games this year. I'm like, man, Cade was bad defensively.
Yeah.
So it tells me something is going on, right? And with him. Not making excuses, because I see you guys saying MJ played with the flu. It's MJ, bro. It's MJ. Come on, man. Like that's a high bar to reach, right? But the point is that a lot of guys wouldn't have played. A lot of guys wouldn't have played this game.
Kind of been forced to, because it's a national TV game.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, take it into account. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but as far as what I saw, boss, I thought he was in this. I don't know. This could be attributed to him not feeling well. He was kind of loosey-goosey game with the basketball. Like 6 turnovers is high. We've said it for most of this year. Like last year, we know he had I think he had like 2 games and we had like 10 turnovers, and everybody's like, he's not a point guard. We haven't seen that this year. Most of the season, he's been very good taking care of the basketball, right? Yeah, it seems like he's just drained, Jay, right? I was watching, it was very significant compared to the other 40 games we've seen this year, up close, watching it. Like, this was glaring. He just didn't look like himself at all. So I know you guys have all had food poisoning. You've all been like, you got food poisoning. Imagine having to get up and go hoop.
Yeah. Like
we have the option to say, I'm gonna just chill today, bro. I'm call your boy. I ain't feeling good, bro. I got food poisoning. I'm gonna chill. But when you gotta go play, you gotta go play.
Yeah.
Right. So, it is what it is. Like 12 points on 25 shots and not playing good defense. It's not just for any reason. I'm just saying, take it into account. Something was definitely bothering him. I'm not going to say that was what it was, but something was bothering him. And then on top of that, boss, they were trapping him like crazy this game, and he didn't handle it well. Like, and part of it is his fault because he just has to be better with the basketball. But they're long, man. When you got KD and Jabari Smith coming at you, you got a 6'10" and 6'11" guy coming over to trap you.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah,
and they were doing it. Every time he caught the basketball, they were looking to get the ball out of his hands and make somebody else beat them. And unfortunately, when he was playing with the starters, nobody else was really able to do that. The bench unit, it was him and the other 4 bench guys. That unit was much better, just off the catch when he was able to get the ball to them. But first half, it was tough for him because he wasn't getting any help offensively. He just wasn't getting it. So I think that was a big part of it as well, that he just didn't handle well as far as the traps. Like he didn't respond well to the traps that they were throwing at him. And to their credit, they're a good defensive team. And so they took advantage of it. I got to give them credit for that.
Yeah. And just to reiterate, like, I think he's just looking drained, just looking slow. That's just like a sign that something's off because he doesn't have these kind of streaks. He doesn't have these kind of games. If this was something that happened every few weeks, and you were just like, or if he was up and down, like sometimes I feel Ausar is like, he's usually not. This is very rare of him. So I don't think it's anything that's, I don't think it's anything. It's not an excuse, but like I said, it's not an excuse, but it's an explanation. Like this guy, he gives his 100% all the time. Yeah. And I still feel like he was trying today by playing 38 minutes. He really was. Yeah. And so when you play that long and this is the result, it's just, it just shows that something's off. And so I'm going to give Cade the benefit of the doubt because he deserves it. I've always given LeVert the benefit of the doubt because I believe in LeVert, but Cade deserves the benefit of the doubt for what he's done for, this team this year.
For sure. Absolutely, man. Like, once again, it's tough because if he doesn't play, it's like, why isn't he playing? But when he does play, he doesn't play well. It's like he didn't play well. You know what I mean? You can't win for losing sometimes when you're a star player. It just, it's tough. I wanted to get go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if he wasn't in today and we lost, they'd be like, oh, we would have won with Cade.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, Kenyatta, it's one game. It's not an effort thing, Chevy, for sure. And I wanted to get to Camille real quick. Camille says, hi, do you think we might not be taking teams who are playing on back-to-backs seriously enough? We had the same issue against Atlanta. They're missing a lot of players, and we're coming off a 2 overtime game, and we only won by 1. It's possible. Yeah. It's possible. But once again, I think when your engine is not running at full strength, full capacity in Cade, it's going to be a domino effect from there, right? Especially when he's playing so much, right? It wasn't like, that's the thing. He played a lot. He was playing against this tough defense, and he was sick. Mm-hmm. But he played 37 minutes. What is that? You said this 10 more than anybody else?
Yeah, 38 almost, yeah.
So if he has an illness and he's played way more than anybody else, mm-hmm. and he's getting trapped, mm-hmm. that's a lot. So I think what you're saying, Camille, is valid. You definitely have to, you can't, take any team lightly, regardless of if you think you're just the superior team or the circumstance of playing the back-to-back. You got to play the same way. I personally didn't expect the Rockets to be as spry and sharp as they were. Same. I was surprised by the level of energy that they had coming out of the gate. So who knows? Maybe they felt the same way. Mm-hmm. Not saying it's an excuse, because it's not. But I was just very impressed with how they came out after playing overtime game and losing that game to have mm-hmm. the same. They looked like they were fresh. They looked like they had 2 days off.
Yeah.
So I do give them credit. Camille, that could be a thing. Who knows? It's a good question. That's all I have for Cade, man. He just didn't play well. Probably wasn't feeling well. You got to play, right? You're professional. You got to get out there for your guys. You got to play. Not making excuses, but I do think there's a reason behind why he looks so off tonight is all I'm saying.
And just before we move on, I just do want to reiterate to you guys, like, Adam Silver has fined teams for not playing star players on national games. Like, mm-hmm. if this wasn't a nationally televised game, he would have, rested. He was game time decision. So I just don't want to discount that fact either, is that he obviously, he could have just this could have been the best he could give tonight. And if 12 points and 8 assists is the best Cade can give, then thank you, Cade.
Yeah, for sure.
But I hope you rest up and feel better soon.
Exactly. Like, I wouldn't mind, you may have mentioned it, like giving him more resting him a game or two and letting him just get back to 100%. This is the time to do it, because we have a comfortable lead and we've shown we can win when he's not there. We have guys like Daniss Jenkins who can step in like he did last game. He was a Pelicans, but still, he's done it all year whenever he's been called upon to just get the job done. So I think this may be a good time, like you said, just to give him some rest, the same way we gave Tobias rest. Just let these guys get back to full capacity so they don't have a regression trying to come back too soon. Yeah. Juan says Houston lost 5 straight road games. They were bound to win sooner or later. Yeah, that's true too. They're a good team, man. They're a good team. I think it's good for us to start playing these Western Conference teams to kind of get a barometer of what the West looks like, maybe down the road, if we're able to, advance and move on. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We'll see. That's all I got, boss. We can move it on along now. Let's go to Duncan Robinson in this game, boss. Tonight, Duncan Robinson finished with 9 points on 2 for 8 shooting overall. All of his shots were threes. 3-5 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 1 turnover, and 1 block for Duncan Robinson, boss, in 26 minutes. Take off.
So 2 for 8. He hit 2 threes in the fourth.
So he was 0 for 6 going into the fourth quarter.
It was cold. And this was someone that when he came in at the end of the fourth, I was like, JB, why? This was the rotation thing for me because Ivy was knocking down threes. Ivy, I would have rather have had Ivy in than Duncan, or Jenkins back in than Duncan. And it's not because, Duncan has been so good. He's had his best stretch of games for us this season. He was shooting 48.5% from 3 through January. Yep. It was bound to happen with the slow game, just like it was bound to happen when Malik had slow games. Like it just happens to shooters. Shooters are off. Yep. So I just didn't like that he, he just wouldn't have been who I chose after being 0 for 6 when there's other guys that can shoot threes that were and making them. So, but anyways, he did try in the end. I appreciated his little drive to the rim after he wasn't making threes. And then that was, the foul on JD that they reversed after they saw Jabari was pulling first, but he still shows effort. It was a very tough team for him. Everyone was bigger than him, except like maybe Reed Shepherd. He had tough assignments tonight. He still put up effort, but his shooting was way off. And for me, it's just more about him playing to finish the fourth. He shouldn't have finished the game. But that's not on him. He wasn't right. He doesn't pick. And then, he did that's when he made his shots though, so I don't know. Yeah. It's tough for him, boss, because like we've talked about him the last few games, how he's been more of a creator. Like how when he catches the ball and guys are attached, or when they're kind of getting out there to him and they're closing out too hard, he's been able to put the ball on the floor this year, or for us this season, more than we've seen him do anywhere else, with Miami. Just being a creator. We've praised him for that. Once again, tonight he played against a superior defensive team. Right. When he puts the ball on the floor, those guys are right there. Jabari Smith is there, and Duncan's not. He doesn't have a huge burst, so unless you close out extremely hard, he's not going to be able to get a step on you when he puts the ball on the floor. And they rotate well too. Their rotations are great. So even if he is able to get by his guy, the rotation is coming. Right. So the pass you're going to make out of that, it better be on time, on target, because they're long. They were so disruptive with their passes and getting deflections and steals out of stuff like that, right? So because he's not a super athletic player, not really able to get 2 feet in the paint off the catch, it's hard for a player like him to really get going if his shot is not falling. And they were up on him on his shot. So it really wasn't a good matchup for Duncan Robinson. Like he didn't shoot the ball well, and because he wasn't, nothing else off of that was really working for him. That's what I saw from him tonight. Just awesome. And again, like even if his game was as good as last one, like it was just a bummer that this game was the one that his shots weren't falling when he got them. And they did defend him very well. He didn't have many open 3 opportunities either, which he has been able to, get around screens. Like they're, again, just a good defensive team. So they shut down our shooters. But someone said earlier in the chat, if he was on, we would have had the game. Of course, you can say that about a couple people, but definitely the way that Duncan's been playing lately, this was just a game that, kind of caught up to him, so you can't stay hot forever. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Michael Moore says, Deuce, we need him to get shots off behind the arc. He has a slow release. Chaz has a quicker release than him. I agree with that. Chaz has a very quick release, man. He's a little bit more athletic. Yeah. So I saw somebody earlier in the comments say, if Duncan isn't getting it going early, if it's a bad matchup, you sub in, bring in Saz, bring in J.I., bring in Chaz. I think those are all good options if the matchup isn't there, right? Because we know what Duncan can do best, and against teams like this, it's just not really well suited for him. So I agree with you. So we'll leave it there. Anything else on that?
No, I don't know if you want to get to the poll, but I just want to ask Crud what happened. He said Booker just got hurt.
Oh, wow.
I don't like that as a fan of the NBA.
Of course not.
Of course, Royce O'Neal, Dream Alive. True. Just let me know if you don't mind letting us know what happened. If you locker room, ankle, is it immediate? Seriously, do we know? I'm just curious because that's
want to see somebody get hurt.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so boss, you asked for the poll. So the updated poll, biggest reason for this loss tonight, guys. 38% has slow start, empty possession to start the game. 33% rotations, 18% turnovers, and 11% second chance opportunities. So a lot of you guys think the Pistons did not hit first in this game, and that was the biggest reason why the Pistons didn't get the dub. It was important, man. Yeah, we talked about it, boss. We want to see this team always dictate pace, impose their will in the game, and get to their style of play as soon as possible. As Devin always says, make them call the first time out, like we always say, right?
Yeah,
so, yeah, it just didn't happen tonight. So I agree with you guys there. I think all the things we mentioned factor in, but I think that was definitely a big one. So let's move on to Ausar Thompson.
Update real quick while we do that. High ankle sprain, and he's leaving with crutches.
Oh, D-Book?
Yeah, not a good sign.
Yikes. High ankle sprain? Might be a couple weeks for him. Hopefully he's straight.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Ausar. Tonight, guys, Ausar Thompson finished with 12 points on 5 for 8 shooting, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals in 23 minutes. What'd you like from Ausar or dislike from Ausar tonight, boss? What'd you see?
Okay, so AT. Sorry, I was just quickly checking other box scores, and the Pacers did beat OKC.
Wow.
They beat them by 3. Anyways,
that's crazy.
Yeah, weird.
So it's not just us. We lost. They lost too. And they lost to in an inferior like Pacers are not the Rockets. So
no. We just
Go ahead.
Yeah, Ausar, bummer that he got into some foul trouble a little early. I didn't love that. He had some really great turnaround jump shots. Like he was really hitting it from the mid-range. He looked really confident. I love that from him. He looked decisive tonight. I think just the foul trouble was the worst thing because he really could have popped off more. But I think this game still keeps his streak alive for me of like confident play. 12 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. He had some good looks. 2 turnovers. Some of them were, I think those were just, one was knocked out of his hand and one was poor pass, I believe. But it's still, we would have seen more of him if he didn't get into foul trouble. But his brother had 3 more points than him and 1 more rebound than him and more assists. But just to look at that, because it was a twin game in the media. Yeah. But I'm not necessarily mad at what I saw from Ausar. He's just still showed a lot of confidence, good decision making. But yeah, the foul trouble cost us. And again, the refs, some of you guys said refs too. I think that was the weirdest thing is some of the harder fouls, like we saw guys grab on both sides, guys grabbing each other, wrapping each other up. But then like some of the softer fouls got called. It was interesting. But I'm not no huge complaints from Ausar tonight in the loss. Yeah.
So the foul trouble was bothering. It was bothersome, right? I think the biggest reason though is because it just kind of put them in the penalty early. I wasn't really concerned about his he's got to leave the game because of how well Ron was playing.
True.
I felt like Ron was. I was perfectly fine with Ausar and his foul trouble tonight, from that standpoint, because of how impactful Ron Holland was in this game.
Okay.
Right? I really thought Ron gave us some really good minutes. He was a big part of why we came back with the other unit, right? So I wasn't really too concerned about that, aside from just putting them on the line early in the quarter, right? Because some of those fouls were just bad fouls, where he's just too aggressive, trying to get a steal, getting in front of his brother when his brother's trying to bring the ball up court and he's not giving him any space to move or anything like that, right? That kind of stuff you can't have, right? So the fouls that he committed, a lot of them were the best foul. He was just too over aggressive. And I'm not mad at the aggression, but we can't have too many of those to where it's affecting us and letting them get easy points. But I thought his effort was there.
Yeah.
I thought the effort was definitely there. He kept so many balls alive, man. Like as far as just getting just active around the rim, getting on the glass. He's been really good lately, guys, on the glass. He's been close to 10 rebounds the past 2 or 3 games. So he's really been active. Tonight he had 8. I think last game he had 9, right? So he's really been active on the glass and really just active, just trying to keep plays alive for this team. I thought he did a really good job just being active around the rim. And offensively, I thought he was under control. Once again, in the half court, making nice passes, getting penetration, drop-off pass to JD for a dunk, like stuff like that. He was very much, again, under control. How many turnovers did he have tonight? Tonight he had 2. So that's not terrible. He had 3 assists. So 2 is not bad. I mean, he can always be better, but I thought overall he was pretty good as far as his offense, as far as getting to his midi, knocking down his midi game. It looks good. I want to see more of that. He had a huge putback in the 4th quarter off a JD jump hook miss that we needed to keep us in the game. Once again, the activity around the rim. That's a board. That's a rebound. So I thought he was solid. I thought he wasn't great, right? And I'm not going to compare him to Amen because Amen is in a different situation. He's got the best scorer in history on his team. He's got another all-star in Sengun on his team. So, and he's got a ton of defenders who are long around him. And he's already a great defender. So it's a little bit easier, I think, right now for him with who he's playing with and the athleticism they have.
True. And I just want to mention real quick, someone brought it up. He got 15 points and 9 rebounds in 40 minutes, whereas Ausar got 12 points and 8 rebounds in 23 and a half.
Very true.
Kind of a pretty equal game in that sense, I think, and I just want to mention what you said about Ron too. I agree. Ron really stepped up. He did great today too. But, if Ausar wasn't in foul trouble, maybe we could have seen them both on the floor together a little bit more when we really needed it. He did come back in the fourth. We didn't get to see a lot of him in the third because of that. Like maybe Ron and Ausar together would have gotten us a couple more stops, things like that. So but yes, since Ron was on it, it helped us stay close. Yeah. And he had some great momentum switching plays, but still the foul trouble was a little bit concerning. But someone else mentioned too, he's not like Ausar has been great about staying out of foul trouble. Just like Duncan has been great about making his threes. Some things were forced about this. I'll just answer this question real quick. Yeah. Sarah, can the Pistons win in Denver with this kind of effort? I saw the effort. We just need to sink our shots. I hope the rotations are a little better. And Denver has some great defenders, but they're not a defensive big squad like Houston. So yeah, we could win a game like this. I don't necessarily want to. I want us to do much better against Denver. But yeah, again, this was just kind of a matchup thing to only lose to 7 by another very, very tough physical team. Like the reason that emotions were so high at the end was because it was physical all game. Both sides were frustrated with because again, KD carried them for a long time. And that's why it was frustrating for us to, the slow start, which a lot of you guys voted for, because KD had to carry them. And so when those other guys are getting frustrated because they're not getting looks or their shots aren't going in, it just builds up. So
yeah, this is a good comment too. Where did it go? I just saw it. Guys
are flying.
Here we go. Michael Moore, says he has a year of work on his brother. Basically, Amin has a year of work on his brother. Ausar sat out a year. That's another thing too, right? Ausar missed 8 months of basketball activity last year with his blood clot issue, right? The Pistons are a year behind, right? So that's another thing too. He's had more reps. He's had more time to get used to playing in this system, playing with Coach Udoka. All those things go into it. That's why we always talk about giving these guys time, right? Because the Ausar we saw at the end of the season was much better than we saw at the beginning of the season when he came back.
And different positions. Ausar's a wing and Amen's a point guard. So there's that too. That's why Amen, when you're a point guard, you need to score too, and Ausar, but Ausar's scoring, his jumpers look great today. That's another reason a little bit with the foul trouble, because maybe he could have popped up a couple more of those and they gone in. And again, it was just 7 points. So just a couple added to that up, but all of them individually are going to take something home from this to work on.
Yeah. So we'll leave it there with Ausar. Wasn't a great game, but wasn't a bad game either. Boss, let's keep it moving. Let's move on now to Tobias Harris, man. Tonight, guys, Tobias Harris had 4 points on 1 for 6 shooting, all 3 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 1 board, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 2 steals in 25 minutes. So tough game for Tobias Harris. Uncle T, boss, what'd you see?
Yeah, 1 of 6 isn't great. He had a couple looks, from 3 of those were threes. I don't love that. So you take that away, he was 1 of 3. Which, from the paint, which is a little bit more understandable the way he's been playing and then the type of game that he plays. Yeah, they just really shut him down. They really shut him down. That's really all I can say about it. He tried to contribute when he could. He could really only get open on the perimeter, and those shots weren't going in. And when he got to the paint, only 1 of those 3. So yeah, just shut him down. It wasn't a great Uncle T, but again, he's also been on fire for us. So I'm not going to be too mad at him for it, but just definitely going to call out that he wasn't able to find his shot. And you can talk about this more because you mentioned it, but that breakaway that he had where he ended up turning it over, I believe, was a turnover because
block shot.
Half court guy couldn't really know what to do there. So
I mean, they're once again like with Duncan, I think Tobias just kind of struggles with their athleticism and their size. right? They have very tall. So like there isn't many. Tobias likes to find the mismatch in the half court and get to his mid to get to the post, right? It's not a lot of mismatches on the court that you can hunt out with Houston because they're so tall and they're so athletic. Once again, so athletic. Tobias isn't athletic. He's strong. He's strong in the post, right? But he wasn't able to find a mismatch that he usually can to punish defenders in the post. He just wasn't there. He tried a couple times, but he would go from KD. The switch would be Jabari. Like okay, thanks. You know what I'm saying? So even that, it just wasn't a good matchup for him because he wasn't able to. Outside of using that mismatch, he wasn't able to. He can't blow by guys, so it wasn't like he could face up and then go. Or he's not that kind of player. So once again, like Duncan, he struggled because his team is so long and athletic. You need to fight fire with a team like this. And when we did that with those athletes and when our bench came in, we saw them play effectively. So I don't think Tobias was just bad because he just was terrible by the way he plays. It's just a bad matchup for him. Bad matchup for him. So.
He still tried, like you said, to get his stuff, and that's all. That's when it's a matchup like that and it's tough, you still, are hoping that the guys are still trying to play their game that is a successful game. And he is, no matter how people may feel, but he is very successful in our half-court offense. He is very successful at the back down fadeaway jump shots or the turnaround shots. Like he is successful in those. He averages almost 14 points a game for us. So just like I said, they just shut him down and he tried, and then he put up 3 in the paint, three in the perimeter, and then he just like I said, kind of invisible at that point. So
Yep. Let's get to some comments here, boss. Jim Oak says Toby can't mismatch unless defender's shorter. That's when he's at his best, right? Exactly. And there was no, unless they had Reece Shepherd in the game, there was nobody there was able you could hunt out, like nobody. Organic says tonight was a Duren Stu P Reed rotation type of game. Tobias was outmatched, and then Sebastian follows by saying, which is exactly why they should have went with Stu to close the game out. Our strength is literally our right. You got to go with your strength.
And to start the game.
And to start the game. Exactly. Which is what we talked about, guys. Boss has mentioned it. I've mentioned it as far as why we think Stu is so important to this team now and long term.
Yeah. Whether you want it, permanent or situational, today would have been a situational game.
Right.
So, either way, he should have started. So.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, guys, Houston's a good team, man. I don't want people to miss that. Right. We know, they're 26, 27, and 16. So record-wise, they're not the same as we are. But they're playing out west, man. Yeah. They're playing out west. Some tough teams out west. So that's still a good record playing out west. So we just got to recognize, too, that and give them their credit. We know we're good. We know we're a good team, best in the East. But the West is an animal, man. So for them to be doing this, and I think now we're starting to see how good the West is. And that's why I'm looking forward to playing these teams, because we get to really see what we could be looking at going forward down the road. So tough game for Tobias. I'm not surprised by it. It is what it is. But hopefully at some point we can maybe see a change, with that lineup to eventually get to what we want to get to, which is, as you talked about, turnovers, stops, transition. Y'all know what it is.
Yes.
All right, man. We can leave it there on Tobias, guys. And boss, we will move now to our last starter, Jalen Duren, guys. Tonight, Jalen Duren had a good game. Had 18 points on 7 for 13 overall. 4-4 from the free throw line. I love it. That's the JD I'm talking about that I'm used to seeing. 7 rebounds, 2 turnovers, in 26 minutes. Didn't play a lot of minutes, boss, but go ahead. Take off.
If I had to say, again, he had probably the best. He did have the best game out of anyone on our team. But I didn't like that he was getting boxed out. I didn't like that he finished with 7 rebounds, fine. But no, don't let Clint Capella box you out completely. You're tall enough to hold on to the ball. There were just some things that he was down there, and they were getting when you get second chance opportunities when Duren and Stewart on the floor, that's not okay. But he was trying to get the baskets. He was, I saw him, attempt some blocks. He was attempting the good post defense. So I guess really nothing. I don't know. And he made all of his free throws. I'll take that. 53%. Yeah. He had the best game of the team, but he's coming off of a 25 and 15 or something like that. It's coming to 20 and 15, something kind of crazy.
2015, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I just, I wish he was used his strength a little bit more and his athleticism down low to grab those rebounds and boards and prevent second chance opportunities and for us to get some more second chance opportunities. We didn't really have a lot under the rim for us on offensive possessions. But yeah, I can't 18 points in a tough team like that. Like Şengün and Jabari were down there low for their men's tough. Clint Capella made it tough on them because they lost Steven Adams a week ago. But can't be too mad at that stat line in a loss. But I know that he could have done a little better, and I'm sure he knows it too.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like out of all the starters, he played the best. Right?
Yeah.
I thought Ausar was a close second, but I thought of all the starters, JD brought the energy again. I thought he was good, man. Like I don't really have a lot of criticism for JD tonight. He was efficient. When he went to the line, he knocked his free throws down, which is something we talk about with him lately. He's kind of been struggling a little bit. He tried to be a presence. You know, they're very handsy. Like you mentioned, like a few times he came down with the basketball, and I wanted to see him go straight back up instead of bringing it all the way down and letting them get it to it. But I don't really have much to say about JD negatively. I mean, I thought he was very active on the glass, tried to impose his will down there. You know, I don't really think Clint Capella can mess with him, or shouldn't be able to, right? Or anybody. They had Javonte Green guarding him at times. I did notice they put Ausar on him at times too on the perimeter. And surprisingly, that worked well for them. I don't know how or why, but that worked well for them. But yeah, I don't really have much negative to say about JD. I thought he was just solid tonight.
Yeah,
it's hard to be great when the other guys who you're starting alongside are not. Yeah, you gotta get some help somewhere. He had some nice connections with Cade and the lob. They got that going again tonight, which is good to see, right? But overall, I thought he was just pretty good. I don't really have much to say about JD.
And then I'll address this. Bossy was going against Şengün, Durant, Smith for rebounds. Yeah, that's what I said. And that's why we started on bigs. Agreed. But there are just times that they're both on the floor. And it's also something I'm just curious about in terms of our offense. Like, we should be able to – the only reason you shouldn't go for an offensive rebound is if it's a team that you know gets back fast. But we get back fast. So, like, there should always be someone under the rim, too. So it's not even really his fault, too. I just feel like sometimes, you know, when we've got people like Ron or Stu – or some guys, or we're off on threes. If we're still trying to put up threes, I hate Şengün. But when, you know, we need guys under the basket. I mean, I called it. Was it the end of the second quarter when it was going down? I was like, this is what I need right now is for Ivy to shoot a three. And if it happens to miss, I need a guy to be underneath. And we had two guys underneath, and they had one, and he out rebounded them. Yep. Like, and again, it's a tough matchup. So I'm not trying to say that to criticize, because like Deuce said, he had a solid game, the best game of the starters, the best game, you know, but there's just some things that I'm just like, he needs to be, this is the competition, you know, and I know he can do it. So, but again, it wasn't just him. You guys have heard me go off about his rebounding. 7 rebounds against those guys is still very impressive. Yeah. But I think I just tend to notice the misses more because I was watching them get second chance opportunities with our guys under the rim, and I was watching them also get defensive rebounds with none of our guys under the rim. So, but good points, absolutely. It's tough. So,
and that's the thing too. Like we know how strong JD is. He plays like he's 7 feet, but he's 6'10". Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. And so when you got KD down there, who's taller than him, actually he's not bigger, but KD's taller than JD, guys. KD's 6'11". Right. So you got 6'11". KD down there, you got 6'10", Jabari Smith in there. Like, it's a lot of size and athleticism again to deal with, right? 7 rebounds is low for him. I will say I do want to see more than that, right? Because he had 18 and 7. I do want to see more than 7 rebounds.
When it was a big second chance opportunity game, you know, when it wouldn't matter if that wasn't part of their game. That's why it's on our poll. Yeah. Can you hear that? That's my cat, Janie.
No, you're good.
She's playing with the bag. The most obnoxious playing right now. And I just want to get this real quick from Camille. Sarah, I'm not his fan. I appreciate so as well. So you're not alone. I appreciate that because he's Şengün is Turkish. So to hear that from someone from Turkey, it makes me feel
right.
You know, and you're not a blind loyalist. I like that, Camille.
It wasn't like JD lost his matchup though. Like Şengün had 19 and 5 or 19 and 1 rebound. Like
one. Yeah. So Şengün had an off game. In a set, but it's like, but the people that they send down low are also like Jabari. Again, they're tall, so they're rebounding. So like when you're, I need JD to jump up, don't just reach, because I think that's what his thing is. Like, yeah, he's usually against a guy his size, but not 3 guys that are taller than him or his size. So he just needs to learn in those situations, how do you fight for a rebound? You have to kind of fly in like Ausar does. Like, and I know he's a bigger guy, but he's athletic. He jumps up, he gets the windmills. It's like, just elevate, my guy, and then hold on to the ball. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I still think it, it wasn't perfect for him. He could have played better, but I still think out of all the starters, he played the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to criticize him on the night when most of our starters didn't play well.
No,
he
exactly.
was the bright spot in the starting lineup. So
Exactly.
all these guys could have played better.
Yeah.
All these guys could have played better.
Yeah.
Duren did get stuck on the perimeter against Durant. Not saying it was his fault. That's not his fault.
No.
That's not I don't know if that was the game plan or not, but I don't ever think having JD on an island with Kevin Durant is ever a good idea.
Right.
And we saw, you think last year with Cat, there were
Mm-hmm.
times when he was struggling staying in front of Cat. And we know Cat's kind of quick of foot for deceptively for his size. But those step back threes, Cat was hitting, I think, in game 3 and game 6. So if that's happening, you definitely don't want him on Kevin Durant. Like, come on, that's just not fair.
You can use that as an excuse for why he wasn't rebounding, but Durant was making his shots, so there was no rebound.
What did Durant shoot tonight, by the way?
Capella had 9 rebounds. Look at this.
11 for 19.
Capella had 9.
Yeah.
They're third.
He didn't even start, I don't think, tonight, did he?
No, he comes off their bench.
Start.
He's behind Steven Adams, who's injured.
Yeah.
He had more rebounds. So that's the whole that's kind of the point of, like, again, when we all kind of do that, that's just kind of where I'm just like, maybe it's just kind of playing, like, when they're all off, they all kind of play. When the majority's off, they all kind of play off. Like, if JD had, maybe not, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it, but that's just my point, is, like, we know that the effort can be there. He did put in effort in certain areas. It was a tough assignment tonight. It was the Houston Rockets, but that's just how he needs to now know, okay, well, if I have multiple guys that are there to rebound, how do I out rebound them? How do I need to box out? How do I need to get in the air to grab these over taller guys, sort of thing?
It's not something you can always figure out in game, man. Like, you have to go back and look at the film.
And like I said, they're all going to take something away from it, even if they do it 18-7. So
right. Let's get a few more comments, boss. We'll keep it going. Micklemore says he did good against KD. I mean, who can stop him? He didn't foul. Right, he didn't foul him. A lot of time he didn't let him go by him either. He kept him on the perimeter. KD just knocked down tough shots, man. That's what Kevin Durant does. JD did a good job moving his feet as best he could. He would get a hand up as best he could without fouling. He didn't foul him. KD he's KD, man. He's done it to everybody. He's done it to literally everybody he's played against. He did it to Cole. He's done it to Kawhi. He's done it to LeBron. He's done it to everybody. And he's still doing it. Like, he's 37, but he's still one of the best scorers in the game easily.
A miss from him over pressure. A miss from him is just more of a shock than a make. And that's wide open, or with being double teamed. It's just more just like when he missed the free throws tonight, I was like, whoa,
right,
what's happening?
Right. Twilight Zone. Chris said Durant was searching out Duren. And it happened. It was like back-to-back plays. I'm like, all right, we got to make a change here, man. You got to get over that screen. You can't allow this switch. I don't care if you got a hedge. You can't just allow the switch. You can't. That's just not fair to JD. It's just not. So that was a big thing that I saw too. But he did the best he could. Yeah, I've seen several solid contested shots from Duren. Exactly. So that's what it comes down to, man. Sometimes better offense beats better defense. And that was the case with JD, especially JD on the island with KD. Like, that's going to happen more times than not. So that's not his fault. But we'll leave it there. Boss, let's go ahead and get to some reserves and see how.
Do you mind checking in on the poll for me?
Yes, sir. I got you. Update on the poll. Once again, biggest reason for this loss, 37% for the slow start, empty possessions, 32% for rotations, 16% for turnovers, and 14% for second chance opportunities. Did you say what you thought your biggest reason for the loss was, boss?
I said my biggest reason, I gave a more specific one to you in the before we started, but I think early on it was free throws and second chance opportunities for the Rockets, and then later on it was rotations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. All right. For me, it was rotations, but we'll get to that. So let's go ahead, guys, and get to some reserves, man. Boss, let's start with Daniss Jenkins tonight. Tonight, guys, Daniss Jenkins finished with 10 points on 4% shooting, 2 of 6 from 3, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover. The only turnover he had was the one where he just kind of bobbled the ball.
In the worst timing.
Worst timing ever. He never usually does that. But it happened. 1 turnover and 1 steal in 19 minutes, boss.
Yeah.
What did you see from Tink?
No, he was a bright spot. And I know like 4 of 10 in 19 minutes might not really seem that way, but he had to heave a couple up at some late shot clocks as well. So I would make that more like 4 of 8 in my opinion. But I thought he did great. I would have liked to see him more, and we've talked about it a little bit already. I'm sure you'll get to it. Playing with Cade to help Cade be off the ball. I would have liked to see more Ivy with him. But Jenkins, he came through. He made some important. He made clutch shots. I almost thought that he finished with more than 10, to be honest. He had a steal. He played good defense. He had our highest plus minus. I just really love seeing Jenkins play, and 19 minutes seems like a lot. It seemed like he was less out there. I just think that in some place he just didn't touch the ball, honestly. I just see every time I see him play, I just think he earns his minutes over guys like Levert and he's someone I would have liked to see close out instead of Duncan. Then they ended up closing out together too. But no huge complaints from Jenkins again, because it wasn't the prettiest game from anyone. And we definitely work. We say we're a team that, wins as a team. We also lose as a team. But and the turnover, I'm not too worried about. That really never happened. It just sucked. The timing was crazy. The timing was the worst. But yeah, I'm not mad at Daniss Jenkins at all.
Yeah, I thought he was one of the better players tonight. Great decision making. Right. Each time he came into the game, we talked about that bench unit, but he was a big part of it. When they came into the game, was a big part of why we were able to get back into this game, man. He's just a spark. And he plays under control. And he makes heady plays too. Like he had 1 recorded steal. He should have had 2, because the second one they called it a shot clock violation before the shot clock expired, which was crazy. Like how was that? You gotta let that go, bro. Why would you not let that go? Scott Foster.
He can't see. He's 80
That was
years old.
crazy. Like, wow, come on, man. That was terrible. So that that happened. But also, like, the help side block he had on Shane Goon. Shane Goon went up for a dunk. JD came over to help, right? Because it was penetration. He jumped, he tried to block the shot. He dished it off. Guess who comes over help side? Right? We always talk about Stu wanting to see that help side, helper defense from guys like Ron, who's got much better at that. Daniss at 6'3" came all the way over and swatted Shane Goon's block.
Yeah.
Same way he did to Jay Huff when they played the Pacers, if you guys remember that earlier this season. So he just does a little bit of everything. It is not just offensively. Defensively, the way he's able to just make the right rotation, make the right play, cover up a mistake here or there. Did a great job with that. This turnover, obviously, you'd never see that happen with him. So I think it was just bad timing, just a little careless with the basketball. But the block wasn't counted on his box score. Wow. So that's another thing.
I think it will be corrected. Because
it's not here on mine either. So I agree with that. Yeah. He definitely had a highlight block. Yeah, man. So like once again, he made 3. He knocked down shots too.
Yeah.
He knocked down shots, man. He only made 2 of his 6 threes, but when he made them, they were big shots and we needed it, man. So he's a big time player, man. And I would have liked to see him play more as well, because on a night when Cade Cunningham looks to be under the weather, get him off the ball.
Yeah.
Get him off the ball. And for the limited time that we saw Cade playing with Daniss and Cade playing off ball, Cade being able to run around and catch it and playing off the catch, that's a great, like usually you see secondary playmakers doing that, catching it off getting the ball off the catch and then penetrating and making a play. When Cade's doing that as a primary creator, that's easy for him, right? So he was able to routinely make the right play out of it because he had another playmaker on the court with Daniss to kind of take some attention off of him. And then once he gets the ball off the catch, it's easy money for him.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to see more Daniss Jenkins playing, whether it's for the sake of Cade or for J.I. or whoever else. Just having that other playmaker on the court just makes everything easier for everybody, but especially on a night when Cade is not himself.
Exactly.
For sure.
Absolutely. So, I just have, I agree with all the people in the comments. They all say too that they agree Jenkins did well. Just a spark that I want to see more. This one just has me confused. Just reiterate, I'm just curious what Boss, quit making those grandmother excuses. He needs some Robitussin. What's a grandmother excuse and what excuse?
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, just let me know what you think the excuse was, because I'll elaborate if you want. But
Robitussin, so what? You just saying just get Cade just drugged up on meds so we can go play? Is that what you're saying? Like that ain't all
I
gonna
didn't say
fix
anything
it,
about Cade with Daniss except that I want to see them more and more. Oh, to get Cade off ball, which
that was literally it.
Not because he was sick, but because he was being doubled. So I'm just confused by that. But if you want to, just let me know what you mean, because I'm curious what the excuse was that I made.
Real quick, Doug says 100 folks still watching. We appreciate y'all, man. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button.
Guys.
But yeah, watching at 11:30 p.m. on a Friday night when y'all could be out having fun. Y'all here with us. We appreciate that. I just love the chemistry you two are building. Family-friendly Pistons shows. Yeah, I mean, we try to make it universal so everybody can enjoy it. We know kids is watching. I got kids. I ain't trying to, be no bad role model or bad influence on anybody. So just trying to keep it light and still be able to have fun and talk hoops. Anything else on Daniss, boss?
No, I just hope that we continue to see him even when LeVert's back. I think he's earned his right. And I know, again, you guys know that I always look for the positive in LeVert because he does have positives. But the way Daniss is playing for what we need, for what people, you guys are even saying, just as a second scoring option, Daniss can be that with Ivy too. And then, again, just like we talked about earlier, to help Cade get off ball so that when they can't double him,
Right.
So.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. They're gonna re-sign him, bro, for sure. He's definitely going to be on this team for sure. So yeah, I thought he was pretty good. He needs some icy hot. Y'all silly. All right, we'll leave it there, guys. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. And boss, now we will move to Jaden Ivey, boss. Tonight, Jaden Ivey finished with 8 points on 3 for 7 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 1 rebound, 2 assists, no turnovers, and a block in 14 minutes, boss.
Yeah.
Feels like deja vu these days for me.
Yeah, this is a game that you can't blame Ivy for. And I think I'm sorry. I'm going to say it straight up. You either didn't watch the game or you're just letting your bias interfere with today, because you can't blame this one on Ivy. He started a little slow, like some players do. The first time, the last 3 games, he's come in super fast and hot. And then he made some clutch shots. He got 2. Yeah, he had the 2 threes. He had that nice layup. It was just a nice span of things. And then we just didn't see it. We saw him for 3 more minutes in the second half. I just won't understand that, because it does feel like, and I know you guys have mentioned it in the comments too, like it does feel like we are, like when he does go on these runs, suddenly he's sat. Like I personally don't get it, because I mentioned it earlier, like why is a guy like J.I. who went on these runs and was doing well and ended the period or the half well. I mean, he missed a 3, but that was a timely 3 that plenty of people have missed buzzer beater 3s. But he didn't really come back in. But then you bring in an 0-6 guy like Duncan. Like that's when that doesn't make sense to me. Because and no hate to Duncan, but Ivy and it's just getting frustrating because it's been the last 4 games that J.I. has utilized his minutes well, and then his minutes are still short. And I really think that he could have helped, he really could have helped in this game, whether it was scoring or again with Cade helping him stay off ball, being a secondary handler. He had that block too. It was a block, and then was it Javonte that came over for the help side and blocked it again? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was playing after a slow start. I just appreciated that he just didn't lose. Like the effort stayed up, the energy stayed up. He got back into it, and then he was sat. So that's just. Yeah, I wish we saw more of him. I don't have any complaints, but I acknowledge that he started slow, but other than that, no complaints.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Stretch and great shooting stretch for us. So
right, because he did start off slow. Right, he came out I won't say sluggish because the effort was there, just wasn't able to get into a rhythm right early. I want to get to some comments, boss. Let's run through a few of these. I'm gonna start with Brandon. Brandon says tonight was another night I wish Ivy played more. Only 3 minutes in the second half is inexcusable, especially for somebody that hit 2 threes when the whole team is struggling shooting. Yeah, and one of those threes was a broken play, step back 3 from like 35 feet. He just stepped back and just knocked it down, right? Broken play. And the flashes continue to show themselves as far as what he can do. Of course, you want to see him doing that, but you see the ability. But once again, like somebody said earlier too, I can't find it, but somebody said, he only played 14 minutes, but he didn't have much of an impact. Because he only played 14 minutes. That's kind of the point. Like,
and he did have an impact.
And he did have an impact in this game.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to really evaluate anything.
I agree too.
Because
Exactly.
For sure. His body language is he's fine. That whole body language thing is
there.
Nothing to worry about. Yeah, the speed was there. The speed was there. There was a few times I would see him kind of get his foot would kind of get stuck in the ground, which is like I still think he's working his way back physically. He's still not there. I think he's getting there because we see the burst, but I think the lateral movement is still coming. It's still coming. It's not quite there yet, and you will see he will get frustrated with himself, like because he wants to do. It's just not there yet, right? So, but aside from that, I thought he was definitely impactful in this game, man.
Yeah.
I don't know where the criticism was coming from.
I think it's just bias because we struggled and he didn't pop off for us.
I mean, he was
so
critical to those runs that we went on to get us back in the game with the bench unit. And so when you don't play him at all in the fourth quarter, fourth quarter, when the matchups are the problem and they're showing they're the problem by who you have in and out, by the score changing based on who's there, that's because of the matchups. So it's like when he plays well with matchups and lineups that work, and then he doesn't play a second in the fourth quarter when the game is still in doubt, he can't put himself in the game.
Right. And so, it wasn't sporadic. The whole thing was like the run that got us back in the game. Like, again, guys, he started off slow. That's why he's 3 of 7. He started off slow. Yeah. But he the stretch that he was in when he was shooting, that's also when he was shooting well, that's also when he got the block. That's also when he was finding people. That's also when he was hopping up for rebounds. Like he was in a flow. It wasn't a run that he then just messed up. Like he missed the buzzer beater 3, the very pressured buzzer beater 3. But it wasn't like these weren't a sporadic 8 points. These were, I shook off the rust and my energy is here and I'm going to get these points and I'm going to be on defense and I'm going to make plays happen sort of thing. So that's just also where it gets frustrating because you see, you're like, oh, like it's an Ivy game. Like he's doing great as long as we put him in, great. And then we played the starters for 7 minutes, put him in to finish out the third, and don't see him in at all in the fourth.
And especially on the night when we couldn't shoot the basketball. Yeah, he was one of the leaders in made threes. I think Duncan had 2, J.I. had 2, and Daniss had 2. Right, and I think of all of them, he shot the highest percentage. Yeah, Duncan shot 2 for 8. Jenkins shot 2 for 6. J.I. shot 2 for 5. Yeah. So to say he didn't have an impact in this game, come on, bro. Like, what are we looking? And he played way less minutes than all of those guys. Duncan played 26. Daniss played 19. J.I. played 14. A team low 14. Like, what are you supposed to do with that?
And the 3 that he did play was after JB, because it was at 10 minutes, and then he played 3 minutes at the end of the third when they overplayed the starters and Houston went on a run. How do you get momentum after that? And then they pulled him to start the fourth when we did come back in and get it. They had Cade in with that lineup. And if this was a one-off, I might say they put Cade in again because we're on national TV. I do think that's a factor here. Right. But also it just doesn't make sense these last few games. So I just if you just let me know if you're – I think one of you in there keeps sending trash emojis. Just let me know if you didn't watch the game. It's cool to admit that.
Right.
If you're just watching the box score and
watching,
and tuning in to see what you missed, that's fine. But admit that. Because I don't think you can be mad at J.I. for the way he played tonight at all. It doesn't make sense. For sure.
Curtis says, why we got to complain for 80 minutes, man? He got to earn them, and clearly he don't have JB Short. So let me ask you, bro, what would he have to do to earn those minutes? That's my question to you. What does he have to do to earn those minutes based on the minutes he's played and based on what he played tonight and how he played tonight compared to everybody else who didn't play well, the majority of these guys tonight? Based on those things, what would he have had to do to play more than 14 minutes?
No, I'm genuinely curious too, because maybe there's just something that we're seeing, because you got to check yourself when I think Deuce and I are pretty fair about guys. I do tend to lean more optimistically, but I think that we give guys the appropriate criticisms. So, but J.I. is my favorite player on the team. So if there's something that you think he needs to super improve on to earn the minutes, let me know. But also,
realistically,
whatever it is, he also needs the minutes to do that. And tonight, I just don't think that there was any, especially because what I saw him do was, again, come off, miss a layup, miss a 3, and then make up for it immediately. That's all I want to do. That's all I ask these players to do, is to if something's off, keep trying.
Right.
Keep going.
And but genuine question, like to the whole chat. Not even I wasn't trying to single out Kurt, but he made that statement. I'm a little confused.
It's a good question. I mean, it's a question. People are trying. We're all trying to find reasons. So I just don't know why JB wouldn't trust him quite yet.
Yeah, I'm just, especially based on how everybody else is looking at times. I could see if he was, just a black mark on the game, where it's just like every time he's in the game, the lead is, either dwindling or the deficit is getting bigger. But like based on what we saw from these guys, one of the questions we asked, like with the poll, was why did we lose this game? And the shooting, that was what you guys have said as well. The shooting as well, like the rotations, the slow start, empty possessions, missed shots, right? We shoot from three again as a team. We shot 22% from three. We only made 7 threes. J.I. hit 2 of them in 14 minutes. So I'm just genuinely asking, like, what more do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think he has to do that he's not doing compared to his teammates at this point to earn more of that time? So I'm just kind of confused on that, but you guys can let us know. So we'll leave it there, man. I really hope he does get more minutes at some point, boss, because I just don't want him to get discouraged. I mean, to the point where it's just like there's nothing I can do at this point. Like, of course, there's things he didn't play perfect at all. Like, there's some shots he could have made. Decision making could have been a little bit better, but
at the beginning,
yeah, exactly at the beginning. But after that, I'm just really confused as to what warranted him sitting the entire fourth quarter, boss. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think, especially just to add on to that, I think just even compare it to games 8 weeks ago, he would get 8 points in the same amount of minutes, but those minutes were like 2 minutes per quarter, sporadic. Like, so now we've seen him, put together runs and play well in 4 minutes straight. Why isn't he getting more minutes to continue that run?
Right.
So because that's already an improvement to me, is to not have to be out there for 18 minutes and, make 2 of 8, but like shoot super sporadic. Like, it was just much more consistent. It's been more consistent and more consolidated with him, his play. And that's just, to me, a great sign. So I just want to get to
go ahead.
Read the comments. Someone.
D-Buck says, can JB overrule the medical team to give Ivy? The thing is, they've come out and said he's not on a restriction anymore. Like, he's cleared to play, which is even more perplexing for me. Is like, because I'm watching him I'm watching him defensively too. He's not just getting beat every time. Like, he did get beat. Like, one time when he closed out, his foot just got stuck in the ground, and it just kind of like was a weird like landing. Like, sometimes you have an awkward landing. It didn't look like Jay High. So, but he was frustrated, like with his body a little bit. But that was the only time I saw him really just get beat. Or I didn't see him missing defensive assignments and like backdoor cuts on him and giving up easy layup. Like, that stuff wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking myself, like, what happened there?
I just want to say, because you have commented a few times, if JB treating his minutes like Monty did, I can't disagree. I can't disagree. He's getting kind of the same minutes. I mean, you're not wrong. But different motives, but that's why we don't understand, because, and we don't know everything. There could be, and this is probably a reach, but like you said, you can tell he's not 100% out there with that little misstep when his foot got stuck. Maybe he does experience soreness. Maybe he is just like, I can't take it all the way, and he lets coach know, and we just don't know about it, and it's just not something that's been asked. And even though he's not in minutes restriction, like, maybe. But I don't think that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So
see, the thing, like, the argument that could be made before, if you could even say there was an argument to be made for Monty, was that people were questioning his defensive IQ or his defensive effort. I do think he has, even though he's not physically back yet, he's a better defender than he was then. In this state, he's a better defender than he was then. He wasn't that good of a defender before. Like, he had the tools to be a good defender, but as far as just the awareness and the rotation, like the things that these guys have been learning with coach and the things I've seen J.I. do since he's been back defensively, he's been doing them. So like, that even more is perplexing to me why he's not, because we know this is a defensive team first. It starts on that end. So I just see him get yanked so quickly if he makes a mistake. Right, I see him get yanked with the quickness He's not really given a chance to kind of just play through it. Kurt
Here's
says,
this is an answer to the what he needs to do. So
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, like they do have practices too. So is Ivy not earning extra minutes through there? Is he not winning ones in practice? It's been 30 games, man. Yeah, okay, that's a possibility. That's a valid point. That's a valid point. Because that is something to consider. And again, that's just why no one knows. No one knows. Yeah. But in games, he's certainly doing his job lately, I think. So at games, he's certainly showing why he should be out there for 3 more minutes.
Right. And Ray Floyd, he's definitely a better defender this year. Yeah. Better team defender. On ball for sure. As far as his position, because I see him when he's defending, even when he's closing out, in previous games, he used to use his hands a lot. He used to get a lot of bad fouls trying to swipe at the ball playing with his hands instead of playing with his feet. He would get a lot of bad fouls in the past that way.
Yeah.
But now he's playing in a straight jacket with his hands behind his back. Like he's literally just using his feet and positioning himself. He's using angles. Like his approach defensively, you can tell he's been studying that side of the floor. So I don't know. I don't know, boss. Maybe who knows? Like we're just trying to go up what we see. But I think 3-1-3 Kurt had a good question. Like what's going on in practice? Who knows? We don't know. But I just hope at some point he's just giving a little bit more runway to kind of just play through it. And like I said, man, I'm waiting until March. I'm waiting until March. But for his sake, it is a little bit discouraging to not see an uptick in your playing time
when you're
to show that you're at least earning coach's trust if that's what it is.
Yeah.
To kind of get back to that point that we know we can get to.
And just quickly, like you said, like March, I think the most frustrating for us is that like we've been J.I.'s advocate from the beginning, knowing that he's going to have slow games coming back into the NBA. And now he's finally here. He's finally had, again, 4 or 5 games in a row where he's come out and he's produced in short minutes. And then the minutes are still not extended into the second half for some reason. And that's where it's just like, but now he's doing what we were waiting on. As fans, at least we see him as fans being more consistent in shot making. So we're like, okay, well now he's going to at least get 20 minutes tonight, right? So I think that's just more of like why it's crazy. But we will get answers soon. We will see things soon.
This is a great comment. I just remember Paul George taking 2 years to get back to normal after he broke his leg. This is a great comment, guys, because if you guys remember what happened to Paul George. When he broke his leg, it was a horrific injury, and it wasn't even it was during the Olympics or during the Olympics, I believe, or maybe it was the FIBA games, but it was Team USA. They were all scrimmaging. Andre Drummond was there on the team, and he went up for a layup, I think, and he just came down totally wrong. Leg went the other way. It was gruesome. It was hard to watch, but it took him 2 years to get back to prime PG when he was with the Thunder. He had to, because he was with Indiana. It wasn't until he got to OKC that he became that same version, maybe even a better version. But it took him 2 years, and he was at one point, he was a top 5 MVP candidate with the Thunder. But that was 2 years after he broke his leg. So people thought when he came back with Indiana before he got traded, he don't look the same. He don't look the same at all. He ain't got that burst. The confidence is gone. It's not that he's a shell of himself. All these things are being said about Paul George. I remember because I was hurting for him. I love Paul George. I loved it. He scared me when the Heat played the Pacers. I was nervous because that was one of the few guys I saw going at LeBron like he was ready. He was there. So when he broke his leg, I was concerned. Like, I don't know if he's going to be able to get back there. But he put in the work. He just kept playing, and eventually, with time, he was able to get back to who he was. So that's why I'm just saying, pump the brakes on J.I. isn't the same anymore because he just got back to playing basketball again.
Ew. I can't.
Okay.
We got to.
Kurt says we don't have a 2-year window. Tatum and other players will be back. We got to. How do you know?
Let's get a Mickey Mouse champion.
Hold on. How do we know that? How do we know Tatum's going to come back and be prime Tatum? How do we know Hallie's going to come back and be? We don't know any of this stuff. This is all just conjecture, bro. And to say we don't have time, Boston and Indiana have less time than we do. They're older than we are.
And New York, too.
In New York, those teams we're the youngest teams of the contenders in the East. So why don't we have time?
Yeah. It's because
the contenders around us have less time.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. We can't do that either.
We
Man,
went on
that's
a
what I'm
rant
saying.
about
Like,
this, but I don't want an easy route for this team. I don't want it. Sorry. We should be able to play against these guys. And you never know what happens. A trade could happen today that could make the East more powerful than the West. You don't know. You could sell everything and your main star gets injured. I don't know. I don't want to squeeze in a championship. I'm loving the build, the slow build that the Thunder did, the slow build that the Spurs are probably doing right now. There's plenty of young and again, like you mentioned, the teams are older and they're not tanking. They're going to be old for a while. They're going to have to figure it out. We have a lot of young talent. And just to go with the Paul George comment, because I wasn't able to talk about my opinions on that too. It's completely agree. It's why Trajan has also said that we need a year. Like, that's why I've already been excited about what I've seen from Ivy. And it just sucks, when we get this good, you can feel a little bit impatient. You can get impatient, especially people that haven't seen the championship Pistons yet, because it's been a long time. So but it's so much more justifying. Yes, Celtics have to exactly take 100 in 2 years. But I just want to say real quick, it's so much more satisfying when you really earn it. And it's not, and because even OKC, they went to Game 7 where I had the Pacers winning. I think they really would have pulled that out. But I don't want any excuses from other people like, well, Hallie tore his Achilles, so it was easy for you. Like, I don't want that for us. And J.I. broke his leg, and I'd rather say, at the end of the season and next year that this kid broke his leg and is now dominating for us. Yeah. Which I believe he can do. If we send him away, he's just going to get better. If you know J.I. at all, he has passion and drive. He's not giving up anytime soon. Sending him away too early because he's not at your full form yet as a fan isn't the right decision.
And to do it at a point when he around the league doesn't have a lot of value, puts you right back in the situation you were in when you were saying trade JD last year when he wasn't playing well.
Yeah.
Which is why Trajan's not going to do it. It just doesn't make sense. Doug says Celtics top 3 take up $150 million in 2 years. Right. Derek White, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown alone make $150 million. What's the rest of that roster going to look like? This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying, bro. You gotta make sure you look at the whole scope of things. And it sounds like a lot of you guys, if I'm being honest, are just trying to find reasons to trade him. Any reason you can to move off of him because you just don't like him. Just be if you don't like him, just say you don't like him, bro. Like it's cool. Like everybody don't like everybody. But to try to find reasons that don't make sense, come on, man.
I think it's impatient because last year he was quickly my favorite player for a guy who stepped up in Cade's injury year. And if you watched him last year, he was growing, he was excelling, he was doing so well. So I think at this point it is just impatience, and I get it to an extent, but it's also like he's here and he's improving, and I think that should be at least acknowledged. So,
yeah. So we'll leave it there, man. We're gonna make sure we don't do this every episode.
Yeah,
for sure. But no. But yeah, definitely don't think there's anything to talk about anymore with Jaden Ivey until we see him get consistent time. Because to move him right now, 30 games in, he hasn't played 20 minutes more than 3-4 times, makes absolutely no sense. No sense. So we'll leave it there, man. We'll leave it there. Guys, let's go ahead and move along to Ron Holland, boss. Tonight, Ron Holland finished with 13 points on 5 for 7 shooting overall, 1 for 3 from 3, 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 6 boards, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, 2 steals, and 1 block. 3 stocks for Ron in 25 minutes. Played pretty good amount of minutes too, boss.
Yeah, he was just the highlight. I also, he was getting emotional there too. He's just a fire guy. When he went down hard, I was worried about him a little bit. I love his fire, and today he walked away with no technicals, right? From those
none.
I saw him when he got ripped down by Jabari Smith. He got up angry and he said something, but then even though he was hot and his teammates had to hold him back, like he wasn't saying stuff. Like he wasn't he kept his cool in that sense. But he was getting frustrated out there too. I did just really enjoy this game from Ron tonight. He was definitely the spark that we needed. Just a bummer we couldn't pull it out for him. He only had 1 foul, 3 turnovers, a little tough. He tried, but his game is paint game. He tries to get into the paint, and they were really making that tough. And then he did drain his first 3 and try on the next 2. But I appreciated him hitting that first one confidently. 6 rebounds is also, that's the 3rd most on the team behind Ausar and Duren. So I'd super appreciate that from him. Yeah, 2 steals on a block, 5 of 7 field goals. Yeah, it was a great Ron Holland game tonight. Just wasn't able to get that through. And I just want to say real quick, I just checked because Celtics were losing and somehow they came back and won in second overtime.
I heard.
So we're still 4.5 above.
We're still 4.5.
I'm not worried. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, for sure. Doug says you guys should put in for overtime. Hunter fans will approve. Thanks for the live stream and playing a back-to-back with another good effort. Of course, man. We got you, bro. Yeah. Like Divine, he was ready to go off, man. Like he didn't play his best. Like so, I talked about it before because the 3 turnovers, he's got to work on his turnovers, right? And once again, I understand why they're happening. Like he is so much so just trying to do what we want to do. He's trying so hard to create turnovers and get out and run and get easy buckets because the more easy shots we can get, the better for this team, right? Who doesn't like to play primarily in the half court. So he's just trying to do everything he can to get us going, to get us moving. Just sometimes he's a little bit too aggressive, right? Trying to make things happen. But for every turnover he it seems like he creates, he makes it back up on this with a steal or a block, right? And that's not to excuse him because he still has to work on them. But I do think he's a downhill player offensively. So he wants to get downhill. He wants to get to the rim. He wants to score. Sometimes his shot selection can be a little bit better, right? As far as just looking for others and things like that. But I'm not gonna. This is an overall positive for me for sure. Tonight, man, just the way he did a great job, boss. Of something we always talk about, finishing possessions. I felt like the Pistons gave up a lot of second chance opportunities. None of that had anything to do with Ron at all. Like he did a great job just helping Stu out on the glass when Stu would come over to slide over to help to contest. He was right. He's gotten so much better with that. He's gotten so much better with that. Like we saw early, we talked about it early. He would leak out and Stu would be trying to, get the rebound by himself. Yeah. And it's like, and Stu would look at him the way Duncan Robinson looked at the ref last game. Like, come on, bro. Right. Yeah. But that's not happening anymore. He's playing big on the boards. He's like, I love his energy. His ability to be able to guard too. Like I've said it before, boss. He's 6'7", 6'8", but you often see him on the Peyton Pritchards of the world, of the Reed Shepherds of the world, of the Tyrese Maxeys of the world, guys who aren't extremely tall, but who are quick. And Ron is very quick laterally. He can move his feet. So he plays really good defense on smaller guards. And I thought tonight he did a really good job of that too. He just played it. He's just, man, I love Ron's game, bro. Like the inbound steal he had where he's diving on the floor when he got into it with Jabari Smith. That was just energy providing a spark. I was like, hopefully this can get us going. Like you were like, don't get attacked. I'm like, this might be to get us going, get the whole team galvanized and wake them up just to get them going. He does that for you. That's not a stat.
Yeah.
That's not a stat. But that's an intangible. Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but just it made no sense to take Ron out the last 3 minutes. Terrible coaching decision. He was just in it a lot. I just feel like he was trying to get a break, but I do think that there were times where he shouldn't have been taken out. Like, or if he was taken out, get him that break and bring him back in. Like, if you can play Cade for a full quarter, you can play other guys for a full quarter too, if that's what's changing the game. And we know Ron has energy, so I do agree there. My only thing is that he wasn't. So it was time for a shift change, but then bring him back in. They bring him back in after a minute, let him calm down. I don't know if JB was worried about his emotions, but he did seem to calm it down and get back to basketball after some of the crash shots. So I don't think it was that. But yeah, I would have liked to see more of him at the end of the game and just kind of overall a little bit. He definitely, like you said, he comes in and helps where Ausar lacks. It's been a couple games now this month where Ausar has gotten into some foul trouble or has gotten reach in fouls. Or fallen for pump fakes that Ron can go defend that person and not do that, and the decision making. So, and I also want to address what you said about crashing the boards, because I think I said it last episode too, but Ron recently talked about how they watched the film and coach looked at it and he told him that he can go rebound. And I think that it's more confidence. And that's just again, I know we can be frustrated with JB's rotations tonight, but what JB has done, all of these guys have nothing but positive things to say about how JB has contributed to their growth this year. And that's just one of them to come midseason and be like, hey, we think you can do this more. And for Ron to take it seriously. And again, that is Ron. Like it's also why I think I mentioned this in the live too. He's confident taking threes this year because that was a goal of his. Like he sets his mind to something. I don't think he doesn't doubt himself ever. Mm-hmm. He just goes out and he just does what's best. So it's just nice to see that translate so quickly, because we've also, there's teams around the league where coaches, whether it's the coach or the player, I think it's a little bit of both, but like they'll beg a player to change away or to contribute somewhere else, and you just don't see it, or you see it for a little bit and then it ends. So I just wanted to shout that out to Ron too, because I mean, it means that he has respect for his coach, and also just the coaching staff seeing that in his game as an area to grow, and just continue to get better as just 20 years old for us. So I agree,
boss. That's a great point. And he was efficient too. Like he was 5 for 7 overall. His only misses were from 3. He made one of the 3.
Yeah.
And other than Ausar and JD, he had the most boards. Yeah. And he had the most stocks along with Cade tonight, right? So it's just like a
couple and ones. He had
a couple. Yeah, he did.
His one turnover, I think he only did one. Oh yeah, 3 turnovers. But one of his turnovers I know was just at the rim, just getting blocked. Like, because again, that's where he's at. He's just going to always play his game. He's not ever going to adjust it. He's just going to keep attacking you. Yep. And I do, again, we shouted out Ron or Ausar's 5 personal fouls and how Ron would come in and take over his assignments. And Ron only ended the game with 1. Like, it's just another positive trend for him. So I just like that, again, in a tough game, he's still playing the Ron Holland way, which I didn't doubt that he would, still showing out. He's just been really, really great for us this month.
Yeah, I agree. Doug says, Sarah, are we still contributing to Ron's foundation?
Oh, yeah. So, guys, we are not. That was during the Christmas time break. We did make a little shout out. We're going to do it again because the funds take a little while to come. They come like 4 or 5 weeks later. They should be arriving soon, and we're going to shout you guys all out when you send it. We were able to raise $550. A little bit over for it. I mean, just totally incredible for his foundation. So, and I think dope, for February, we'll be doing one. I'm not sure on the details yet, but we will be doing another one soon for another players charity or foundation. And we will just keep you guys updated on that, because whether you support the show, no matter how you support it, half of your super chats will go to that. So again,
shout out to you guys, man.
Yeah,
for sure. Like that says a lot about you guys. I know we butt heads when we talk Pistons basketball, but it says a lot about you guys for contributing to a good cause like that, for sure. So shout out to y'all for sure. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got for Ron, man. Like, but you mentioned the fouls. Like that was why I wasn't concerned when Ausar got in foul trouble. Because it's like we got Ron right there. He's ready, and he was impactful again. So we'll leave it there, boss. Let's move on to Savage. Javonte, can you woo Green tonight? He didn't have he had a quiet game, I think, tonight. Let's go through it. He had tonight, guys, 2 points and 1 for 3 shooting, all 1 from 3, all 2 from the free throw line. First time I think all year I've seen him miss back-to-back free throws at the stripe. 3 boards, 1 assist in 16 minutes, boss. So quiet night for Javonte Green. What did you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, he just went back to his defense. 1 for 3. That's not even bad. He never makes takes bad shots. He takes what's given to him. So I can't even be mad at that. He only had 2 fouls in a very physical game. Yeah. 3 rebounds is really great too. Just a tough game. And again, when like I said before, we win as a team, we lose as a team. He still did his job. His job is to go out there and be a good defender, and that's what he does. Yep. Kind of the first time in a while he hasn't recorded a stock. But that just tells me that, again, he was just doing a good job staying in front of his guys and making it difficult on them, making life difficult. So, yeah, I mean, 17 minutes, you might want to see a little bit more from him. But
Mister, I'm going to be quiet tonight, Coach.
Exactly.
I'm screaming.
You want to see a little bit more from him in 17 minutes. But, he, again, just like I said about Cade, just like I've said about Duncan, some of these guys, they've just done so much good for us recently that when they have a bad game, it's kind of all together at the same time. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I still have nothing negative to say about him. He still went out and showed effort. So
yeah, for sure. I same with me. Like I felt like he could have had some stocks, but Scott Foster was Scott Fostering.
Yeah.
At times, like, bro, like, what are you looking at? Like, both ends, bro. Can we get the same, like you were saying, like,
Yeah.
can we get the same treatment on both sides? Like, yeah. So like,
we didn't shoot it, guys. We did not shoot a free throw in the third quarter.
wow, I didn't realize that.
Nope.
None?
Nope.
Wow. What's the overall free throws? Let me check real quick, boss. Tonight, hold on. Wait, okay. So tonight they took 30 and we took 24.
Yeah. Not
Okay.
crazy discrepancy,
That's
but it is about timing. So
It is.
and
I agree.
and we didn't shoot any in the third, and then the fourth they got into like the bonus right away for us.
Right.
Like it was a little lopsided, but that's
Yeah.
what was frustrating me is like, yeah. Well, I think I got mostly frustrated when I didn't see the Jabari Smith jersey grab before the JD one. And I
Yeah.
was like, they've been grabbing jerseys all night, and this is when you call it. After you
going off.
just also, and it was right.
Y'all
It
should've
was
saw
right.
it.
It was right after they messed up the takeaway from Jenkins and called it a shot clock violation. Like,
Right.
what are we doing?
What's the
But
spread,
then,
bro?
then finally, then they were able to look back, and I didn't realize they could go back that far in a challenge. So I'm not mad about it now.
I didn't either.
But that's what's
Normally
frustrating.
it's like the initial.
Watching. I mean,
Yeah.
Jabari Smith grabbed Jabari Smith was grabbing jerseys all night, and then he gets his grabbed on that one, which again, that is a foul. But Duren did that because his was first, and it wasn't called. So he's like, all right, I guess we can get away with this. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's crazy work, bro. I didn't realize that, boss. No fouls or no free throws in the third quarter is
Mhm.
crazy work. That is crazy, man. That's
Yeah.
wild. So yeah, like it was, he did have a he did come in right away when he first entered the game and got a steal immediately.
Mhm.
Immediately. Like
Yeah.
first, I think like
Yeah.
first possession.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Mhm.
once again, like I think the only difference with him is just like
Mhm.
he just didn't have a great scoring output. But Javonte played the way Javonte usually plays. The free throws 0 for 2, that's not good, but he never does that.
Oh, that
So
was
I'm not
bad.
mad at
That's
that.
weird. That was weird.
I'm not mad. It happens. But
Yeah, I thought that he
yeah.
was a part of the Ivy block, and then he blocked it. Maybe it was him and then Stu.
Was that him? I
was
can't remember.
It was Ivy and then Stu that blocked it because we didn't record any stocks.
Okay.
And now it's coming back to
Okay.
me that Stu got another
Okay.
block and was able to grab it. I
Gotcha.
thought it was the second unit with Javonte out there, but no, it was Ivy and Stu because.
Got you.
But obviously,
Okay.
like this, like he was trying. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Okay. We'll leave it there. With Savage Wu, what they said they're not calling him Wu. They said tonight they're gonna call him Javonte. I'm gonna still call him Wu. He's still Wu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only time I won't call him Wu is when he's not giving the effort, and which means I'm gonna always call him Wu.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
anyway, let's move on, guys, to our last guy for tonight, which is Isaiah Stewart,
Yeah.
Dog Pound Senior. Guys, he had 16 points tonight on 7 for 9 shooting overall. His only 2 misses were from three-point land, 0 for 2. 2-2 from the free throw line, 4 boards, 2 assists, and no stocks, surprisingly for Stu, but he did a lot of other work. So I'll let you take off first on Dog Pound Senior, Big Stu. What'd you see, Big Dog?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, crazy work in the paint. Wasn't afraid of any of these guys. Wasn't afraid of Jabari. Wasn't afraid of Şengün. He went up for some blocks. He was a little late on, I think it was the Şengün one where he just I think he was just like waiting for someone else to slow down ball, and no one did. So he went up a little late there. But yeah, like you said, just weird on the stocks, but he obviously played really well. I mean, our second highest scorer of the night. I mean, 7 of 9 is no joke. 7 of 7 from the, inside the perimeter.
Yeah.
Made his free throws. Got some rebounds. To me, that's a little, he does use his body, and we saw it tonight. We saw him use his body, but it's a little different to me when you have a taller guy like Duren who can face, when Stu's in there and you have Jabari Smith and Amen Thompson and Kevin Durant all there to reach up and grab the ball. It's a little different, but still recording 4 rebounds is great. So not mad at the Stu game. This is his best game off the bench since he went back on the bench since Tobias's return. He was averaging less than 10 points in the last 3 games. So now, 16 is fantastic. So really just loved what I saw from Stu, and he was ready to defend Ron. They had to calm him down too.
Of course.
That was my
dead taxes and Isaiah Stewart ready for smoke.
I will just say real quick, what bothered me again, I go up and down with Stan Van Gundy. I think sometimes he just talks and doesn't think about what he's saying. But when he compared Isaiah Stewart to Draymond Green, I was like, get out. Like don't start that media stuff back up because it's not that.
So the thing is though, like if we're being real, Draymond Green in his prime was a very good player, man, for that Golden State.
Right.
Like
he wasn't comparing.
If the only piece, hold on, if the only piece they're taking from that is that he's just volatile, I'm with you.
That's what it was.
That's okay.
That's what it was.
Okay, all right.
It was after he was getting into it with I think Jabari at the free throw line.
Okay.
And he pushed him off.
Okay.
That's when he brought up, is Draymond Green like? It's like, no, don't just – so like don't just compare his attitude.
Right.
Like, because – and again, something I brought up last game that, again, today we got Şengün, the crybaby, which I'm really glad that Stu – I said in the live stream, I was like, Şengün's going to cry no matter what, so you might as well give him something to cry about. But Stu never cries.
No.
Stu made 7 of 9 and only got to the free throw line one time in the paint. You're telling me he was never fouled?
Right.
Not true.
Stu, like Ron, only like gets into it with other players, not the ref, not the officiating. To your point, but I was just asking that question about the Drake point because like if they're comparing him as players and as impact players, like Stu was on his way to potentially winning DPOY. Draymond Green was a DPOY. So like if they're saying the whole package, okay, cool. But if they're saying how you were saying, they're kind of insinuating like it's only because of the volatility, then I agree with you. Yeah. If that's what they were saying, okay. So I'm not mad at you for that. But
I love how Boss pronounces Draymond. Do I say Draymond? Yeah, Draymond Green. How do I say it? And now I'm like, how do I say it?
You
Draymond
say it
Green.
with a U instead of an O.
Draymond Green. Oh yeah, that's just Chicago in me. Sorry.
It's all good. I thought he was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Organic had a great comment too about as far as how he attacks their height. I'm trying to find it, but he basically was saying that he embraces the physicality. Like he goes into them. He goes through here we go. He goes through the contact instead. He goes into their chest. Yes. Like the play when I was saying JD got fouled, they didn't call it. JD was trying to do the same thing. He just didn't call it. But Stu does that. Like he goes through you. He's not trying to go around you. When guys are long like that and athletic, it's hard to go around them. But long athletic guys usually aren't big and strong. So you need to go through them and take away their athleticism, take away their vertical jump and just jump into them, right? Yep. You got to initiate that. And that's what Stu does. Yep. That's why he's so effective against anybody. That's why even though he's not tall and not extremely gifted athletically as far as his jumping ability, he can still score over anybody.
And he
uses his body well and he gets you he gets you on your heels and gets you off balance. That's how he plays.
And the double clutching and trying to be cute in the paint. He's never looking, just like Ron too. They're never looking for the foul.
You're right.
Very, none of our guys are. Every now Cade and then will because he's desperate for a call after being hacked.
Trying to get anything.
None of our guys look for the foul. Yep. They're like, I'm going to get this ball in the hoop and I'm going to drive through people to do it.
Yep.
And then, kind of put the onus on the refs to call it if they don't get it again, which is why but I also think it's kind of what I love about him is that he doesn't complain because you could argue if he said a few times, like, I'm getting hacked, look, like he doesn't even talk to the refs. Like he doesn't even say anything. He doesn't go like this. He doesn't be like, he doesn't even go up and be like, hey, I was getting hacked down there. He just moves on to the next play.
Yeah.
Like, well, I wasn't strong enough to push through him. So that's how he views it, I think. So
that's a great point.
I just love that about his game.
That's a great point for sure. Yeah. Organic says she pronounces it the way we say Raymond. Draymond.
Oh yeah, Draymond.
Everybody loves Draymond. Psych. Draymond. So yeah, I thought he was great, man. Guys, his footwork is leaps and bounds better than it was as recent as last year. Like he was better last year, but his first couple years around the league, he struggled to finish over tall defenders, over bigger defenders, right? He struggled with either hand to finish and that was something I was a little bit worried about. Like, is he going to be able to find his touch around the rim to be able to be effective at the rim, not having that crazy athleticism, not being tall, being an undersized big. And he's just shown that we always say he's getting closer and closer. It's physically possible to his ceiling. His footwork, when it looks like you have him in jail, he'll just spin the other way and go the opposite hand. Like Kobe-esque in the post. Y'all seen Kobe do that where he pump fake, turn around and off glass? Like he did that tonight. Mm-hmm. It wasn't there. He tried to spin. It wasn't there. He got cut off. Spun the other way, off glass, left hand. Like his footwork, man. And it's very impressive, man. Very impressive for sure to see his growth over the years.
Remind you guys that he just moved to the center position last year after being our 4. He was our 4 for a little bit. He was our 4
with Monty.
Yes.
When Monty was here.
Right. And then he went back to this and he's just embraced the role so well. And, like you said, this is his footwork. He is looking for ways to grow. That's what I appreciated about him. There's a lot of guys in this league that aren't looking for a way to grow.
Every year. Yep.
They're kind of stagnant. They think that it's good enough.
Mhm.
All of these guys are, I mean, they're all young and hungry, but I think Stu's our longest tenured on this team. He could have just been like, no, this is how I play, figure it out around me. But no, he wants to get better for the team. And every year he's just improving.
I agree.
So, yeah.
I agree. Organic says, remember Stu's hands were horrible. That's what I was talking about, bro. Like he's totally transformed his game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't see him being this good offense, let alone defensively. I didn't see him being this good offensively. And who was it that said it? Somebody said it. I was thinking it when it comes to Stu when he's around the rim. Like every time he's in that painted area and it's just one-on-one and he's got, regardless of who was there on him, I think it's good.
Yeah.
He's so good in that painted area now. It's like automatic now. In the past, I would expect him to miss.
Yeah.
Just because it just wasn't developed there. And I didn't know if he'd be able to polish his game enough with his limitations athletically, against other guys compared to other guys. The way he's improved his game, man, that's a credit to his film work, his work in the gym, working out with these guys in the offseason. Like he just continues to work, man. Like nobody saw as recent as 2 years ago Isaiah Stewart being what he is on both sides of the ball. Nobody saw Isaiah Stewart being an all-NBA player 2 years ago. Nobody saw Isaiah Stewart being able to knock down threes the way he does 2 years ago. Nobody saw Isaiah Stewart having the footwork and touch around the rim in the painted area to score the way nobody saw this.
Yeah.
The same way we didn't see us doing this year.
Yeah.
The same level. Nobody saw Isaiah Stewart being what he is right now. So it's incredible to see his growth, man. I got to give him a lot of credit because
absolutely
he's a threat now. He's a threat in the paint. Like he's a threat to score when he gets it.
Yeah.
Didn't have that before.
Yeah.
Love it.
Perfect. Yeah. I really have nothing else to say just before I lose these comments. I'll just address this really quickly because
Go ahead. Do you think?
I think you all should watch MPJ, not just look at his numbers. That guy is not it, man. Yeah, that's exactly it. I agree.
So let me set it up because, guys, Sarah lives in Denver, man. She's been watching this team for years. She watches every game. She goes to a ton of games. Whenever there's not Pistons games, she's going to Denver. She's seen them up close. So if anybody would know about MPJ, it's boss. So I just want to set it up.
I'm not going to trash on him because he is having a good year and he did help bring the Nuggets to championship, and he's not like he was a detrimental player. But watch MPJ as the second option with the Nuggets. Don't watch him as number one on the Nets when he's allowed to chuck up any shot he wants. Watch him on the Nuggets when all he does is shoot. He didn't record his first assist till like 10 or 12 games in last year. I would just say go watch him as second option because he's not going to be a first option here. And for me, I just think he doesn't play defense, and he's not just going to be someone we can throw in and rely on. If his shot's not off, he provides literally nothing else, guys. There are guys that we can get with our TPE money. I've said it before, Marshall, Royce O'Neal, that can provide us some offense and defense, and they can blend in. But anyway, I just want to say that because I also wanted to comment on this one real quick. Oh my God, this one. Do anyone think we should try to trade for Kristaps Porzingis? They said Atlanta's trying to move him. Wonder we could trade LeVert and draft picks. They gave up trade for almost nothing. So, guys, Kristaps Porzingis. Nope. Deuce, you're going to agree with me once you remember this. He has POTS. He was diagnosed with the medical condition POTS.
Right.
My sister has it. It's tough.
Right.
You can't, when you're sick, you stay sick. He's out. He has to take breaks for his illness because it affects your heart rate. Sometimes your heart rate doesn't go down. Sometimes, you stay sick, you're more vulnerable. He was just diagnosed with this, and we haven't seen it long enough to see if he can survive in this league as a player that can play consistently, because it is a very serious condition.
Can you explain what POTS is like? What it's short for? Do you know what it's short for? Like, what is?
I can't. Not off the top of my head.
I was just curious myself. You told me before. I just can't remember. Okay.
Yeah, I've always called it POTS, but it's just a condition where your heart just What I know the most from it is that sometimes it just can't slow down. You can be laying down and your heart rate would be like over 160, and it gets dangerous because you stand up, you pass out. It's dangerous for the guy that's in a game for 20 minutes, then he sits down and his heart never slows down, and then he has to get back up again and go back out there.
Scary.
It's good. Yeah, it's scary, and you get sick easily. It's something that he's learning to do. So I personally wouldn't get him. I'm not saying his career's over, I'm just saying this is new to him as well. That's why we haven't seen a lot of him also.
Right.
Because he's not when you have like an illness that could last a week for us could last like 3 weeks for people with POTS. Like it's very serious. And my sisters couldn't play. My one sister played volleyball and she had to stop playing. She has to be very cautious about her exercise. You have to watch what you eat. It's just a very serious condition. So I just want to say that just because we don't want to go for guys, and MPJ kind of falls into this too. We don't want to go for guys that he has a serious back injury and that could happen at any time. If we're gonna trade away healthy guys, don't give them why go get someone that also isn't like you guys. A biggest complaint about LeVert is they can't do back-to-backs. So yeah. Here, real quick, causes dizziness, brain fog, fatigue, and fainting with moving from lying down to standing. Insufficient blood flow to the brain. Yeah, it's scary and it's kind of a little bit unpredictable. So
those are things that you've seen too. Those are some of the symptoms you've seen. Okay.
Yeah, I just knowing that my sister that has to deal with it has had to change her life because of it. But I just wanted to just call that out because that just at first glance for me, I was like, hey, that's actually not terrible if he comes cheap because he is a good player. Mm-hmm. But then I remembered that we haven't seen him in Atlanta play much because of this condition that he's still learning too. Thank you, Doug. She's doing great. She's been diagnosed. She's had it for years, and she's very good at handling it. It's just it's tough for these guys. POTS is tough. If anyone suffers from anything heart related, it's hard.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like that's scary, man. Like, and the thing is, I don't know about that. So thank you for breaking that down again. Yeah. I'm just thinking from a basketball perspective, like a GM front office perspective. Mm-hmm. It's easy for us as a team to think that these guys have issues elsewhere. They're gonna come here and have none. Yeah. Right. That's the ideal situation. It's just not realistic. Why? He hasn't been with the Hawks long. Why are they trying to move off him already?
Because of the illness.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's my whole point. So it's just like, yeah, he's available, but why is he available? And one thing these guys do, like we know we've had the injuries and stuff like that, but these guys are young. We want these guys to be playing. We don't want just money sitting on the sideline, money on the bench, because guys just, that's what I was saying about Anthony Davis. It's like we were saying before he got hurt again, that when he was healthy, we don't want, it's too risky to give up the assets for that. And what did we say? We said, what if he gets hurt? Tim Hardaway said it. What if he gets hurt and we get him and we gut our roster, and now we got our rosters gutted and the guy we traded for is also out. Yeah. And then a week later, he's out for the year. Mm-hmm. Like, so this is, you gotta be realistic as far as like, if these teams are going to trade this guy away, it's a reason they're willing to trade him away. Right. It's a reason that they're asking around. They're trying to get off of that situation. Yeah. So exactly. Do we want to take that on? Yeah. So it's just like, yeah. So with the back issue, like MPJ, same thing. Like, I don't know what is, better than I did with it, like if it's chronic or not, but that back injury was really bothering him for a long time, to where he was consistently on the court from what I remember. Am I wrong? Yeah. Is that fair to say?
You're right. And that, I mean, I more power to him because he still managed to make a great career out of injury. For sure. But just real quick, simple question. Do y'all think getting MPJ gives a better chance at the championship? So here's what I'll say, because I don't want to just hate on MPJ too much, because I do think guys can grow. Yep. He doesn't play defense, guys. And if we just get him mid-season and say, hey, we need you to put effort in on defense, I don't think he could do it. I think it would slow us down a little. Like, is he somebody that could learn defense on a team that needs it? Denver never pushed defense the way that JB does. I don't think Brooklyn is either. But I think he would be, even if we did get him, he would be a better offseason transition to build up to what we expect. Not someone that we could just go grab and he can jump in our lineup like it's no big deal. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about it.
It wouldn't be a Rasheed Wallace type of move.
No matter how
Rasheed Wallace was a defender. Yeah. As well as being a great offensive player. Yeah. And I think that's a big difference too. Yeah. Sorry. But no matter how I just kind of, as someone who watched Denver, there's a lot of love for him in Denver, but also a lot of people kind of saw why he was traded in Denver. So I'm just trying to give, more of like why I genuinely, I don't like him personally, but this is a reason why I definitely wouldn't want him right now. Even if the Pistons did want to acquire him at some point, I don't think he could just jump in and fit our transition, what we're trying to do, what we're doing this season.
right now.
Yeah. And here's one more thing. Because I actually think he's a pretty decent player. Like I watched him with the Nuggets. I do feel like a lot of his deficiencies were kind of just overlooked because of how good that Nuggets team was and how good Jokic was and how good Murray was and how good that whole team was. It was a lot of guys I felt you could have put at that spot and still win a championship.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I just look at, because people are saying, he's getting buckets with the Nets. Yeah, he is. Like, but Cam Thomas was too. Cam Thomas was getting 40, dropping 40 with the Nets last year, right? But also doesn't play defense. So it's got to be a proper fit, man. It's got to be. And I don't like you said, boss, committing to the defensive side of that ball, like immediately drag it, like just dropping them right in with the rest of these guys. That's a big ask. Like we say Rasheed Wallace a lot, right? But that doesn't happen often, guys. When you bring a guy over midseason and you just win a championship, that was lightning in a bottle, man.
Yeah.
That was lightning in a bottle because Rasheed Wallace was already a very high IQ defensive player when he came here. It wasn't just Ben. He helped Ben Wallace out so much, man. Ben Wallace is Ben Wallace. But having Rasheed Wallace there to help him on that backside and the IQ that he had, man, the smarts that he had defensively, that's why we were able to be successful.
And I just want to say this real quick, but you didn't listen to what I said. But we said Duncan can't play defense. MPK can just adapt like Duncan. If we're bringing in someone to fit this team, we need them to fit right now. It is halfway through the season, and we are commending Duncan the past month on his defense. I don't want to get to 70 games when he finally starts playing defense. I don't want that. So you're not like just again, yeah, sure, he can adapt. Let's do that in the offseason when we can afford. Like you need someone that comes in and meshes right now. And there are guys for much cheaper than I don't know why people think that MPJ is just going to go away for nothing. The Nets want to tank. They want stuff, future assets because they're trying to rebuild a team. They're gonna want either a ton of picks or picks and some of our young guys who we should not give up. They're not going to settle for LeVert. And that's not going to be the MPJ trade. So So I like maybe he can because again, like I said, he hasn't been pushed to yet. I don't believe, but I don't want to do that midseason. I don't want it. We can't afford to throw our chemistry off this season. We can't afford that.
There's no guarantee it's going to happen, right? Exactly. For sure. And some good commentary, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about guys who midseason trades that worked, and like I mentioned, Rasheed, how rare it is. Camille says Toronto did that with Marc Gasol. Milwaukee did that with PJ Tucker when Toronto won. So PJ Tucker is known for his defense. First of all, he's a 3-and-D at heart. That's who he is. So that worked for them. Marc Gasol is a former defensive player of the year. So the two guys that he just mentioned that it worked with midseason were defensive dogs. MPJ is not a defensive dog. So once again, it was easier for them to get integrated because they already had the IQ and the ability to play and the want to play defense. That's a big thing. And then also Doug says Rasheed played for JB's Dead in DC, and so did Ben. They both played for him with Washington, with the Bullets, right? So they understand defense first. They get it. JB is much like his father when it comes to how he coaches his teams, his principles. When he coached the Nuggets, that is what he preached. Yeah. That's why those guys fit. Yeah. That's why they fit. So it has to be the right fit.
This is one more
wait on. Go ahead.
Ivy here and Ivy again was doing great last year. Why would we trade? Again, this is just bias. This is just a guy who doesn't like Ivy and wants to solve it.
It's cool. It's cool.
Guy who's just terrible with culture and terrible on defense. We're winning. Ivy's not affecting our chemistry. And who's to say that Ivy's not on the team when MPJ comes? Who's saying that it's going to be an Ivy MPJ trade? Like, so we would have both. Like, what is?
It seemed like y'all are just in a rush to get him off the team.
Yeah, and get a rush and to. I'm telling you right now, Ivy's on the team already with minutes. And yeah, we lost tonight, but we're still winning. MPJ is not on the team. And if he comes in with minutes, I guarantee I would bet my life on it. He's messing up the chemistry. I promise you.
She would know, y'all.
I promise you.
He would know, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying, y'all, like, y'all need to listen to Boss, bro. Like, this is who she watched. She's watched him way more than all of us have watched him.
And look, and if we get MPJ, which I would lose all my trust in Trajan forever, if we get MPJ before trade deadline and he comes off and proves me wrong, I'll eat it. but I swear
nothing has shown you that it will.
Not going.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah. We'll leave it there, man.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. We'll go all night with y'all. You already know. But yeah, we'll leave it there, man. So it's already 2 hours in, boss. But we'll see what happens. We'll leave it at, as always, we'll leave it at, we'll see what happens.
Wow.
I cannot wait for this trade deadline to pass. My God. What's up?
Oh, I would say that the Nuggets, I know some people are keeping up too. The Nuggets just won 102-100 against the Bucks, but they got a lot of injuries today too. Murray was out, Yoke, Watson, and they were up by like 20. The Bucks kind of made a comeback. The Bucks are struggling.
Who played?
Their Bucks are healthy. They have
I'm saying for Denver. Who played? Pickett and who else?
Let's see, real quick. I'll just tell you. The starting five was Spencer Jones, Aaron Gordon, Zeke Naji, Julian Strawther, and Jalen Pickett.
And I
know all of them, but THJ had 17 points. Good job, THJ.
Hey, okay.
Bruce Brown had 15 points. Good job, Brucey.
Oh, he's back? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Julian Strawther, I don't know if you guys know him. He was kind of he was the backup before Watson.
Right.
Yeah. But he led it with 20 points. But they just beat Kuzma, Antetokounmpo, Turner, Harris, Rollins starting lineup.
Wow.
Bucks.
They're full strength.
These are teams that need to make trades.
Yes. Right.
Push MPJ on them.
Right.
Okay.
Not the team who's in
so
first
good.
place.
Put some on them.
Who had a huge window to win for years. But anyway, AG left the game with the injury. Ooh, I didn't know that. Injury. AG did. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. All right, boss. So we'll end it there, man. On some bad Nuggets news. They just can't get healthy. Doesn't seem like right now, but they'll be all right. So guys, the Pistons are back at home for their next matchup. They play the Sacramento Kings. And the last time we played them about a month ago, we beat them in Sacramento. I think it was like 136-127, if I'm not mistaken. But they will look to go for the season sweep against the Sacramento Kings and rebound after the loss tonight. So guys, that is going to be a wrap for this show after a very lengthy and engaging discussion, lively discussion. As always, guys.
Everyone that was here for the live, for
some of y'all,
Thank you so much. That's just so fun. I mean, we tried it. Please let us know your thoughts on the live and this and comments anywhere. Because I was hoping for a win so we could be a little more lively. But I'm curious because the first time I ever did anything like that. It's the first time we've done it together on this. So let us know. And
if you want more, 200 likes. 200 likes. Hit that like button, you guys, because we want to do it, but we want to make sure that enough people are here to actually enjoy it with us. So just let us know, hit the like button, smash that like button, show us support. And, you guys ask and we will deliver. So we'll play by ear. So that's all we got, man. Organic says, thanks for the commitment. We appreciate you. Hey, appreciate y'all for hanging out with us all night, man. I'm about to go get some sleep. I am tired.
Someone said that too. Someone called you out.
For sure, man. We in deep after a loss, Superman. You know what I'm saying? Even after a loss, we going to be here regardless. All y'all. So
always.
Appreciate you guys, man. Listen, you guys stay warm, bro. It is cold outside. Let me check the weather right now. As of right now, guys, it is -3 degrees, guys.
Stay warm, stay safe. Don't drive unless you have to, please. There's ice.
Yeah, don't put your car through that. Don't put your car through that if you don't have to. Oh. Crazy, man. So yeah, make sure you guys stay warm, stay safe, stay off the roads. And like I said, hit the like button and support, and we will make sure we do our part on the flip side. So we hope you guys have a great night, and y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking hundreds, I heard you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Look the dog, palm, mess around, find out, Look the dog, palm, mess around, find out, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, or just let a cup of hair, cause I'm like that.